this music down a little bit.
I even through all that, AJ, I agree. I do feel sorry for him a little bit because his game right now is so tragic.
He should have stayed his ass in Washington.
They weren't gonna keep him.
No, nobody's gonna keep him. What's going on
And
with my camera?
it's
It's
not
just
like he
not
forced his
focusing.
way out. They traded him, so he didn't have no say in the matter.
Good gracious, I'm a locked player right now. This camera.
Yeah, no blow.
That thing just won't focus. It's like, nah, bro, we good.
Damn.
No, he. My issue with him is every team he goes to, he's just too inefficient. Like he takes too many. It takes too many. He has to have the ball in his hand too much, and Kevin Durant hit him the whole time in OKC because Kevin Durant needs the ball 16 times. He's gonna give you 30, and Westbrook is like, I need the other handles. I mean, all the other attempts got to go to Westbrook in order to get 30 from him.
Feed me.
Right. All right.
B said, looks like Cornell West got to shape up.
Oh my god!
So this nigga can't be on the cast with his friends and family. I mean, he just got to be out there with he's entertaining guests.
Oh, wow.
So he gonna just leave niggas hanging, but shoot shots from afar.
Absolutely.
Speaking of shooting shots, we doing Rocket League since we can't fight.
Hey, I'm with that.
I'm down.
with that.
I don't even know if I still got Rocket League up here.
I mean, it's probably on Game Pass, you know.
No, I'm saying like I don't know if I got it upstairs. It might be downloaded downstairs. Right,
Okay, look what you do. You
Is that a
start
streamable
downloading
game?
now, and it'll be
Is it a
down by the
streamable
time.
game?
That's a good question.
What
I haven't tried. I got it installed, like on the cloud, right? On what do they call it now?
It's not
Xcloud
xCloud anymore.
Game Cloud.
Nah,
Call it Game
yeah.
Cloud.
There we go. They
Game
you know,
Cloud.
xCloud was like the code name, and now that it's
Yeah, they
out of
should have
beta,
kept that. That
they
shit's
should
tight.
have fucking kept
xCloud is tight.
That shit is tight.
I like that a lot. They fucking
Cloud gaming or whatever.
Yeah, it's called Cloud.
Now they just call it something lame like Cloud Gaming.
Yeah, yeah. That's what they decided was good.
I mean,
for
that's
everybody.
more of a description than a name, right?
Right.
Yeah,
nah,
no
it
bull.
is truly.
It's like, I mean, I guess that works for Kentucky Fried. Well, Kentucky Fried Chicken is still a name though, because it's not like you only get it in Kentucky. So
that's fair.
I guess that's
pretty
true.
okay.
I guess.
I mean, that's one way to name something. To be honest.
Carl, we gonna see your face tonight, bro, or what?
Eventually.
Eventually.
Nothing.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's get started.
What did I knock over? Fuck it.
Hey.
Thank y'all for joining us, and welcome to the podcast. Follow us at Blur Dimension here on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If you haven't already, turn on notifications so you can be the first to know we got new content for you. I'm Kavan, Negrito Suave. Hey, we appreciate that. Oh, that was you. We don't appreciate you that much. We got JK will be joining us later, maybe. We got Creston, not Cert.
What's good? Happy New Year. Hope everybody I mean, for the most part, most of us dodged COVID, but for those that didn't,
Nah, I took a bullet.
loot, hang in there. We'll get through this, but yeah, what a way to start the year.
Right. We got AJ and Slinja. Oh, he be back. We got JD Creates Activity.
What's up, everyone? Again, Happy New Year. Happy to have you here. And yeah, fuck Omicron. Right now.
There's Marion.
Amarion. I like that. I like that rename.
I think that video was on his like TikTok or some shit. The one he did talking about I'm not a variant or whatever.
Dog, like seize the opportunity, dog. When have you been relevant? You know what I'm saying? Outside of right? Just embrace it.
A minute.
Embrace it.
Then we got Carl XKBHX. Oh Lord.
What
We lost
what's
tech.
what's going on, guys? So far so good. Me dodging COVID, but I can't say the same for all my family. But we're gonna get through it.
Yep.
Asymptomatic. Boom.
That's what you
That's
want.
always good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All our pronouns are he, him, and his. We got 3 segments for y'all. We're gonna discuss some nerdy news and headlines. After news, we got topic of the week. To discuss this week, we're talking about blurred resolutions in 2022. Then we're gonna go into what we've been consuming this week and what's good. And so that just means like games we've been playing, shows and movies we've been watching, comics we've been reading, all that kind of good stuff. Then after the podcast, we're gonna get into after podcast gaming. Tonight we're gonna play some Rocket League and we're gonna play some Halo, customs in both games. So stick around for that. So let's jump into this news. Why is my sister calling me?
Mhm.
Nah, they know what time it is.
I'm
So
about to say, you gotta let your family know the schedule, Suave. My family know the schedule.
facts.
My wife knows
Um,
the schedule. Doesn't care.
you see, oh
The way you
man.
said that, Carl. I feel that though. I
So Xbox
got
Phil Spencer did an interview this past week and was saying kind of they've quote changed how we do certain things with Activision Blizzard just regarding all the unfortunate news coming out of that camp recently. And so yeah, I mean so Creston posited that it's an off year for Call of Duty with Vanguard. That I mean I don't think any of us are playing. Well, I think JK played a little bit.
A little bit
Um,
of it.
I think it
Played the
underperformed,
beta.
no?
I haven't. I'm not
Yeah, to their
playing it at all.
standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Overwatch is a mess, a trash fire. And so like his question was, will Microsoft change their tune when the next like Modern Warfare or when their next hit comes out?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like he was being very vague as like we train certain things with.
Yeah,
And it's like it's just hot air. I mean, it's really just a let's kick Activision while they're down right now. They've and deservedly so for sure. It's they've had a ton of horrible news to come out of how they treat employees, how women are treated there. I mean, it's a toxic ass environment. So they deserve like all this backlash and negativity
sanctions.
to go their way. Yeah. But I mean, this really doesn't mean anything. It's just him kind of like up in Microsoft. I mean, it's a good tactic because it's in vogue to kind of kick Activision while they're down right now. And so what's a better way to kind of like ignite the mob mentality to be like, well, we're changing certain things on how we operate with Activision. And it's like, what does that mean? What are you going to do? Are you going to not sell Activision games on Xbox now? Like, I mean, are you
Come
going to
on
go
now.
that far? If not, then I mean, whatever you're saying really doesn't matter.
It's just blowing
And so,
smoke.
That could be a negotiation tactic. Maybe contracts are up and be like, look,
yeah,
you're in
because
a tough spot right now.
PlayStation does have the Call of Duty marketing deal. So you know how they flip flop. So like you remember 360 generation, like Call of Duty was synonymous with 360. And then the next generation it was PS4. And now I don't know, I'm assuming they're continuing with the PlayStation, but that could be a thing where they're kind of like, well, we got that huge install base now because I mean they didn't have any leverage last gen, let's be honest, and we'll talk about that, getting that when we talk about the end of Xbox One. But yeah, I mean they're talking a big game, but I'm not, I don't really know if we'll see whatever comes out of that.
I agree. I don't think they're necessarily just talking shit because like I mean, and I mean he's a rich white man in America. He can say anything and do whatever the fuck he want. But The way that he was talking about it seemed really earnest to me. He was like, um, kind of like we're not trying to punish them for like their lack of virtue, because they're like, at the same time, Microsoft is not free of their own, um
Issues.
yeah, issues. But at the same time, I feel like it's important for them to say something.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's
Being a
not,
major
hopefully it's not just some bullshit. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think
We'll
being
see.
in the position they are now, um, I I like that something was said. Hopefully it's something, that actually means something, I guess.
Fruitful. Yeah.
Fruit,
So I guess like
exactly.
in this statement, right? Microsoft is essentially like the marketplace. So in a
Yeah.
way, is the goal for the marketplace to kind of regulate the producers? Not regulate. Regulate's the wrong word, but entice them to do better with their own shit. Like Activision, get it together. Like because of the fact of all of this bad publicity, even working with you taints us, and or even having your games on our marketplace taints us. Um, so I guess the hope would be, from at least Microsoft's perspective, if they comment on it, maybe Activision's money, right? Like EA's money, Activision will be more attentive to fix the problems. Is
Exactly.
my thought process.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean it, because I mean we haven't heard anything from Sony. I'm sure that they've probably put out a brief statement, but what's his name? Jim Ryan isn't, doing interviews talking about that. So it's just also another, marketing tactic for the console war, to be like, we were the company that denounced Activision. If something worse was to happen, like if they found that like Activision had some sort of like, you know, hitman or something that's like taking out ex-employees,
Yo,
something just like really crazy. And then Microsoft can be like, well, we said we don't like what they're doing. So you got to come and buy an Xbox because we denounce murder and all that shit. So it's just another way to kind of
true. Hedge their own
put
bets.
themselves over. Exactly. Put themselves over, the
But
competition.
I don't like that there's no real way to showcase the other side of it. Okay, so you could condemn the behavior, but there's no like, okay, well, this is what we're doing, like maybe an annual State of the Union. Like nobody really wants like a diversity State of the Union or anything like that. There's like internal memos with a lot of the tech companies, but they're not big about just putting that out there because it's embarrassing, because it's still terrible. Um, so like if you're gonna say that, then hopefully there's something on the flip side to reverse that and be transparent about all that. But I doubt that's gonna happen.
I doubt that too, because he was definitely also like, when they tried to like pin it down a little bit, he was like, obviously I can't, talk about like the deals that we have with them publicly or whatever. And I was like, all right, nigga.
Mm.
Yeah. So,
I did
see.
hear some rumors though. Maybe this is sort of how he can realize that. Is there's talk that he's grooming a particular person
Hmm.
to take over for him when he retires, which is
Oh shit.
a black female woman, but I forget her name at this point.
You
But
talking about like Sarah Bond or something?
that sounds like it could be correct. Yeah.
You talking about Phil Spencer, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I've
Sarah
heard
Bond.
that,
She's
so I don't know if that's where it's like, okay, yeah, I could talk because I know what I'm doing behind the scenes. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, Sarah Bond is like basically head of Game Pass. Um, so she's at every Microsoft conference. Like she's always, always has a segment. So they're definitely like, grooming her to be, um, the next, the next leader in that space for sure. I wonder if anybody's gonna try to poach her. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. So we'll see,
I
man.
wish they would, because I think Microsoft would just come back with a bigger pile, and that would just be a win-win for her. So
Absolutely.
That'd be fantastic. Oh, can you imagine? Oh man, can you imagine the kind of
What
compensation
that
package.
what that pile looks like? A
Bruh,
lot of
oh yeah,
juiciness.
the
that's
commas, so many commas.
I need that. So also this past week, Microsoft confirmed that they stopped all Xbox One production in 2020, so they could focus on the new generation. And I don't know, man. It's crazy
How
to
do
think
we
about.
how do we feel about
Look,
the X1
there's a
generation?
chip shortage. There's a chip shortage out here.
Tell that to Sony.
Let's
Anyway, we ain't gotta.
Yeah, no ball. How do we overall feel about like the Xbox One generation? Personally, only reason I bought an Xbox One was to play Titanfall 1.
Mm.
That's the only reason I bought an Xbox One.
Right.
Um,
I
yeah, that
bought
game
one
got
because
killed
I'm a
this year too.
sheep. I'm an Xbox sheep. I'll admit
They
that.
got you.
I'm gonna I'm gonna play Halo every time. So
Yeah.
if Halo ever goes to PlayStation, then I'll play PlayStation.
It
Or
was about to.
if they make All Stars again, I
Mm,
might scoop a PlayStation for that game.
yeah.
Um,
On my back.
no, but it'll definitely be the digital one. I'm not paying all that money. Yeah. but I was a sheep. But when I saw the difference in horsepower, and then the PlayStation was still smaller, and then the power brick was internal, I was just like, "What are you doing over here, Microsoft?" I was pissed. I
Yeah,
was so pissed.
and it was
But
ugly.
then, yeah, it was. And then,
I thought it was
you
fire at the
know,
time when
I
I
did
bought it.
not. I did not. I did like the TV stuff. I was one of those few people. I like the TV stuff, but
Mm,
I'm like, you can't underpower it though. Like that's what hurt me, was the underpower, not so much the direction. Because truth be told, except for Connect, they end up doing all the things that they were going to talk about. They just didn't have a good way of communicating it, but they end up doing all that stuff. Um,
Yeah,
Technically, they didn't do always on, but really, can you really play any of these games without internet? Like, come on now.
yeah, exactly.
So they pretty much did all the things. They were just bad at communicating it. Um, but my whole thought, especially how the generation ended, was they couldn't fire that Don Matrick person just 3 years earlier and hurry up and get like.
Seriously,
And there was a guy.
seriously.
If they had gotten to Phil Spencer earlier, just think of what we would have had.
Yo, seriously. Did y'all watch the Xbox documentary?
I
I
watched the
haven't watched
first
it.
one. I didn't watch the other parts yet.
It's
I need
really
to watch the
good.
other parts.
Don Match. I was surprised, but Don Matrick is actually interviewed in there. I was like, I thought he was gonna be
Yeah,
permanently like
Brian.
excommunicated. You know what I'm saying? Like never can step close to a Microsoft anything. But nah, he was on there. He kind of he he
He
defended
owned up to
himself.
anything?
He defended himself, but he admitted that he made some, that whole PR speaking made some missteps and blah blah blah. But yeah, it's
What's he
interesting.
doing with his life now?
Just being a rich motherfucker, like he's not at Zynga anymore. Because
Oh
that was
man,
like his first like golden parachute was just to go straight to Zynga,
if
and
he
they
got
paid
them
him.
shares still,
I'm
That's
sure he
true.
does.
That's true. This man, damn, talk about fail upwards. God
bruh.
damn. Seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right though. Like if they, cause Because even think about like how like the 360 kind of sputtered out. Like it was like the last like 2 years of 360 was uneventful. Like they kind of got into that whole we're gonna
But why
rest
was
on.
that?
It was because Don Matrick, yeah.
Dude left. That dude left. I forget his name. Dude that's running EA.
Oh, Peter Moore.
Peter Moore. He was killing it. He was the first to get all the Netflix and the apps.
Yep.
He locked down all those exclusivity deals. Like it was bang, 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 bang. And then he left. And then what happened? Like, so there was never really any wins with Matrick. The only win was, oh, you unveiled the small
The
Xbox
Slim. I'm
360.
not gonna lie, that shit was hype. I went
I scooped one.
immediately after that shit was done. I went straight to Tallahassee Mall and no, Governor Square, and picked up that Slim. That shit was sweet.
Yeah.
That was like my last like big I guess reveal from like E3 where it's like, oh shit, I gotta go get that now.
Yeah, it
But
was
yeah,
juicy, but like that was it though. That was
yeah,
his like shining moment, and then everything else was trash.
yeah.
Damn.
He closed down a lot of studios, you know. It's
I'm
bad.
gonna have
I
to watch
mean,
that joint.
yeah. But
Was he
yeah,
responsible for Lionhead closing down?
I believe so. I believe so. I think it was right in that early was it maybe the in between 360 and Xbox One coming out. But yeah, I mean Xbox One, like I only like I said, Titanfall was the main reason I picked it up. The Master Chief Collection when that came out 2014. Um even that kept me on that platform, but even that was barely working for like the first like 3 years. Um yeah, I don't really have any great memories with Xbox One. Like it was kind of like I think the One X is like the shining memory with that. When they came out with the One X, that was like a symbol it was kind of like, you know, this is the direction we're going into the next generation. Like we're going to go back to being powerful. We're going to, you know, give you games. And then we got Game Pass. You know, Xbox One, like as much as we kind of, you know, don't have that many fond memories, we got Game Pass out of how bad Xbox One did. So if it wasn't for that,
Wouldn't
we
have
wouldn't have
Game
got that.
Pass.
Exactly.
I
And we
like the
probably wouldn't
one.
have
All right.
backward compat to the
Oh,
Back,
degree we have
yeah,
now.
back compat too. Yep.
you got a point there, and they definitely have like a fantastic like backwards compatible lot. Like you can play Xbox like original Xbox, and I'm like I don't even know how y'all
OG. Yes.
did that.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean I liked it fine. I didn't get the Connect and all that stuff. Like I mean, I was broke. I bought the OG Xbox One in
I
2015
was
because I
broke.
wanted to play Halo.
Made bad decisions.
You s-
I was broke
what?
as well. I just made bad decisions. When we got back connect.
Hey, you had to do
I
what you had to
love the
do, man.
I still have the connect. My connect
This
is connected
this
to the
man is a
One
Connect
X.
loyalist.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
seriously.
And when I transition the Series X to the living room, the Series X will get the connect. Absolutely. Need it.
I feel like you're like the one person I know that actually use all of the features of the Xbox One. The
Absolutely.
TV stuff,
Yep.
the Connect. Um yeah, I mean like
I don't use
you
the TV
were
as much. I used to have like direct TV. And then yes, it went into there through like the HDMI in. So I did use that for a period of time, but I use YouTube TV now. But yeah, pretty much every feature I've used it at least for a stretch of time.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I feel like I should get a Halo Infinite Series X for that.
I
For
agree.
being so
Oh my!
loyal.
I
I
wanted
mean,
that
I
thing
should get
so bad.
one because I bought the Halo 5 one. I'm just putting that out there.
Just putting that out there.
Putting that out there.
Oh my, bruh.
I would have loved the Halo 5 like 1X at least, but you know,
I mean,
can't win them all.
can't buy one on Xbox for $1,300. I mean, on eBay for $1,300.
1,300. Get out my face. That's trash.
Craziness.
They stay bugging. They said you be sad. They said you get one after you finish the battle pass.
Well, shit. Let me start grinding then.
Facts. Listen, if that was a guarantee, nigga.
Listen, podcast canceled. We have work to do, gentlemen. Let's go.
Work to do. That's it. So we had a really weird crossover this week in anime in games, where Call of Duty Warzone and Vanguard got some
Yeah.
Attack on Titan stuff, like a skin and some weapons and like an operator, right?
Mhm.
Weird.
An operator, yeah, with the skin.
How y'all feeling about that? I mean,
I
if
don't
anybody,
get it.
I don't wonder.
I mean, they're
I
just
mean, I
trying to
get it,
discourage
but I
any
don't get it.
angle they can to make us spend our dollar. You know, if
That's
you're
a
a Call
fact.
of Duty fan and a Titanfall fan, the chances aren't slim. So, you know, not gonna lie, I saw it and I was just like, I don't even play Call of Duty often, but that's just kind of tight.
That's
So
just to have it as an option.
yeah, like I would definitely have it as my main skin, and the fact that like your blades become like, you know, their blades, that's pretty dope. And then like the killing effect is pretty dope from what I saw. So, I mean, it got me.
It's weird.
It is weird. I brought it up in BCC and they were like Joel was saying, they trying to be like Fortnite. And I mean,
Yeah.
I
that's right.
Have no other
understand
choice.
that motivation. Like Fortnite turned their shit into a platform and they are just like, I mean, if they wasn't printing money before, they got it like coming out of everywhere now. But I don't know if Warzone can, I don't know if Call of Duty can do that with Warzone. But I mean, maybe anything can happen. But like for me, I felt like Fortnite kind of because they were always kind of silly and kind of cringe for people who don't have kids and don't get paid to play. They were able to kind of step into that and just be like, what other wild shit can we do? And like that was cool for them.
And they had an art style that kind of you can just bring anything into it, just make it Fortnite it. You can
Exactly.
Fortniteify it,
Fortnite.
you know.
Fortnite.
Yeah, it's
That's
not a
exactly the
serious
word.
it's not a serious art style, so
Right.
it lends itself to any direction, right? It has no personal style of its own. Like it does, it's almost like having a style because it doesn't have a style, so it's so uniform, like so bland that you can
So
add anything
moldable.
to it.
The fact
Would
that
you
you can
would you say,
have
Keely?
Jeet Kendo.
Yeah, it's just the Jeet Kune of style of visual styles for a game,
Game.
or like or artistic design. It's so they can throw the Avengers in there and Naruto in there, and it's like, I can
That's
see
what
how
I'm saying.
both of
Like, the
those
fact
work.
that you can have all of those characters in one game.
Mhm.
I say what you want. That's fucking fascinating to me. I love that.
It's wild.
It's wild. Like you be having these people who do like these custom Fortnite matches, and they'll put like Naruto up against Iron Man and shit. Like, and of course, like it's not all of their abilities, but at the same time, you get to use like some of their abilities. So yeah,
It would be a great game, in my opinion, if I feel like games like that, for them, in order for them to be enjoyable for me, we're a little bit too. We're not far enough in the future yet. It's not Ready Player One-ish enough yet. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like if we were in that space, Fortnite is the only game that kind of can like do what that show was about and like what those futuristic games were. But we're just not there yet as a society, I guess. So it's just annoying because it's like it is cool to have every one of those. Like it is pretty much Ready Player One if you look at the way like the character. I mean, Master Chief is in Fortnite, right?
yeah.
Boba Fett's in
is.
Fortnite. I would love to see that fight, like Master Chief versus Boba Fett. But
That'd be fucking dope.
at the same time, I also don't want to see it in Fortnite. Like I'm not eager. I'm not going to go to Fortnite to see it. But I do think that they found they cracked the code for mass consumption in a way that Call of Duty is like, hey, that used to be us. So now they're like they're trying to like
they're trying to catch up.
yeah, but I don't think
they're
it's
so
gonna
restricted.
the what?
The language you're using is blowing my mind right now. Just like going to Fortnite. That's
that's true. Yeah,
that's such a crazy thing.
Hey man, the metaverse is here,
you don't
man.
go to Halo. You don't go to.
No, you go to Fortnite. You go there.
To freaking Fortnite. That's nuts.
I mean, Fortnite spawned virtual concerts. Like they did that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And like now there are multiple startups, mind you, $1 million startups at that literally just do fucking virtual concerts inside of quote unquote the metaverse.
Yeah, their stock must have went up after Astroworld for sure.
Like, that's just fascinating.
Just saying.
I mean, to get back,
it's a good pitch.
Topic, we can talk about like Fortnite and the way it's changed.
There will never be a death at this concert. Yeah,
exactly.
That's not a guarantee. That's not a guarantee.
It won't be. Well, it won't be at the concert.
It won't be because of the concert.
That's true. At the concert.
Yeah,
it could be, but I mean, you never know with them flashing lights. You gotta put that epilepsy warning up definitely for every concert.
Death is at their house. AJ, it's not at the concert. That's a detail.
Totally
That's somebody else's
pay off the medical examiner.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And they're also
this nigga always the sins and the villainy. Maury said Fortnite made $5 billion in 2020. That's $5.
That doesn't surprise me. And they're just gonna keep making more money, y'all. I think it's
okay. Do you understand? That's more money than the company I currently work for and the company I just left combined made for the year.
More than most of our companies, to be honest.
That is ridiculous.
I can assure you that the company I work for, that's around that they made a rounding error of what Fortnite made. I can assure you that they're like the Fortnite woke up.
Start making that.
If Fortnite woke up with my company's money, they would immediately either kill themselves or everyone else. Like they would do some harm to.
Oh no!
Absolutely.
Right.
And then they're talking about like doing like shows, like literal like.
Murray said, "Quit your job, Carl."
Animations and shit like that, and then like VR and
if
dropping
you're
their
gonna pay
coin.
No problem.
Fortnite, they're not slowing down anytime.
You said they're dropping their own coin.
Yes.
Oh, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Think about how much money you spend in Fortnite.
NFT Fortnite skins.
Oh my gosh, and that's
original Fortnite skins.
And they're the one who's gonna be able to do it successfully because a lot of people want to do this. A lot of people have plans to do this, but not everybody has the buy-in and the eyes of the youth, which is what really gets things to. That's how you adopt things, right?
I've even seen articles where they're going to sell parts of the map, like literally digital sell some parts of the map. I kid you
So
not.
people own like Fortnite property.
Yes,
that's insane.
Brilliant. That's
saying
brilliant.
this, I can't say exactly if this is true. But I've seen the articles, and I'll try and collect as much as I can and drop it into our Discord.
How do they not do this?
But I mean,
like, even if they didn't even think about it, somebody that works there read that article. I'm like, oh yeah, we should absolutely do that.
We should absolutely do this. Like, why not do it?
That would be insane. And then you charge people Fortnite coin to come on your part of the map.
Your part of the map.
Give me $1 or I get to shoot you in the face.
You can hire Fortnite bodyguards. You can hire other Fortnite players to guard your property.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Give them one Fortnite coin a day to just patrol the grounds.
Can you imagine, like, the moment that drops, the moment they launch that crypto, immediately I'm buying it. Because, like, it's immediately.
Absolutely.
I feel like I have to buy that as well.
And the only thing I would push for is that people can heist on your property. Like, people can steal stuff from you. So you do have to, like, I would love to see, like, the great Fortnite caper where there's a bunch of YouTubers like, yeah, we're about to steal this guy's stuff. Then I have to break into, what's that Ryan Reynolds movie just came out?
Red Notice?
No, the one that he was up. He was Free Guy. There's like Free Guy where they broke into the like that fake. They broke into the and they heisted inside of the world. I was like, I would love to see that happen in Fortnite. Please let that be a thing where you can actually steal people's Fortnite money in Fortnite. I mean, I know that's probably not gonna happen because it would definitely discourage people from buying the coin if somebody could rob them digitally. But there's got to be some kind of event where people can take some of your funds. That would make it. I think that would really add some kind of like
Fortnite purge.
gamesmanship to it.
You could just do like a poker style thing where you get your team, you get your squad together to go up against another squad. And like, how much you want to put on this game?
Oh, that would be hilarious.
You put 10 Fortnite coins on.
They wouldn't do that in Fortnite though, because the I think the demographics too young, and they don't want parents to come after them because
they make
some
you sign
kid
in, don't they? Everything you gotta have a bloody account.
Yeah, but most people are using their parents' credit card, so.
Yeah,
but you know their
Fortnite,
account though. Like you gotta
relationships.
AJ,
Yeah,
all you
like
need is deniability out here. You just need deniability. The account says this mofo was.
Yeah, parents would delete that app from their child's system immediately. The first time they look and they're like, "Why am I missing $5,000?" Well, you know, their child went in like Vegas, just kept dumping them down.
This homeboy was talking trash. I had to put up a little money to put us
solve
down.
the problem.
You got a lucky shot on me.
Right. But to transition into a game that is changing lives, Titanfall NorthStar. It's changing lives. We have to talk about this.
It's changed 1.5 lives on this podcast, I'm sure. Creston is he's like, I'll check it out eventually, and your life has been changed. So it's 1.5 right now.
Have you installed it?
No, I haven't.
So now it's less than
what?
So yeah, it's 0.75 now. Your life and a quarter of Preston's.
But you have to be awestruck at the fact that just a massive fuck you to EA. Because not only are they selling a game that's not playable, which pisses me off, and I've talked about this on our Discord before too. They are literally selling Titanfall 2, and I think it's at original price, and I don't have GameStore up right now to double check that. And it's not playable. The only thing you can do is campaign. So I mean, quote unquote, maybe playable. But multiplayer, you can't play it without getting DDoS to hell. Like, you cannot load a game. So for console, it's basically dead. So just the fact that's completely sad. Fantastic game ruined by basically just a company saying like F it. Like, it's
the Apex money was too good. They just forgot about where it started.
Right, you're forgetting about where your main storyline comes from for Apex. Like, most of your hype is generated around original Titanfall fans.
Yep.
And
because that was the big selling point. Like, that was it was Battle Royale, Titanfall. Like, that was the selling point.
That's why I picked it up.
Yeah,
that's what I would do in Call of Duty.
301, and I was just like, bet I'm in there.
Yep.
If I was Call of Duty, if I was Warzone, I would add Titans. Because
so terrible.
They are the ones who killed Titanfall to begin with. Like, it's Call of Duty, because Titanfall's too close to Call of Duty. It's not. There's not a large enough gap between the two to kind of lure players away. Like, Halo and Call of Duty couldn't be more different, at least in terms of aesthetic, right? They're both shooters, but they're not the same. My sister and brother-in-law play Call of Duty almost exclusively, and every time they come over to Halo, all they can do is talk about all the stuff they're just not used to, because they're like, I don't like this, or I don't like that, I don't like like, it's a completely different game. It's played differently, different fan base, right? Like, it's very different. But if you look at like the way Titanfall's, like, everything outside of the Titan is very similar to Call of Duty, except for running walls, obviously. But like, guns wise, like controls wise, it feels very Call of Duty-ish to me. And
that's fair.
And so until you get a Titan, the game doesn't really become different from Call of Duty. And if you're not good, you really Get that Titan. You don't really get it. You get the Titan at the very end after the game's pretty much already won or lost. You're like, okay, I'll just run around
It
and
depends on how you
shoot.
play. If you can move, you can get your Titan in like a good 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, look, your
Just
boy
me.
has never gotten a Titan at the beginning of a game. I've gotten a Titan at the very end. Everything's already decided. I'm just trying to cause mayhem now before we have to retreat because our team got destroyed.
No wonder you didn't like it, AJ.
No, I like Titanfall. I wasn't good at it, but I mean, if that was the case, I wouldn't play Halo either. So I like Titanfall, but I didn't play it often because when I was playing Titanfall, there wasn't a lot of people playing it that I knew. Like I didn't know how much Crescent played
Yeah,
it
it's a very niche game.
Right. So I was just playing it because I was like, I want to be in a giant robot. I'm a Gundam fan, right? That, you know, anytime I can jump in a giant robot, that's a game I'm going to play. So Titanfall was like right up my alley. It just, I didn't have a Titanfall group, like core friends to play the game with.
It's the best game for that too. Like
it did it better than any game has ever done.
Any game has ever done like gigantic robots and mechs. Like they did a fantastic.
They made it very accessible. It's either very like semi it's from like, you know, Mech Warrior and, you know, some other mech games are kind of borderline like that. It's very like into the weeds. It's like, dog, like let's get to the point. We're in a giant fucking robot. Why the fuck do I have to do all this just to move? Yeah, make this shit fun. And that's exactly what Titanfall did.
And I completely agree. I think their problem is outside of the Titan, you're playing Call of Duty.
That's it. I mean, I don't I know what you mean, but like I don't.
So what do you think? What do you think differentiates the play style?
The speed.
Yeah, well, the movement is just but not everybody. Like most people are not who just pick up Titanfall aren't going to be able to move like you do, or like anybody who plays Titanfall for a significant amount of time. Like most people are on the ground or they're clambering, right? But they're not jumping from walls and killing people in midair. Like that's
maybe that's the problem with the game not like teaching people how to actually play the game. You know, because
unless you go
like
you don't go through the campaign, you're screwed.
Yeah, and then plus like I feel like with everybody's common, you know, denominator is always Call of Duty, right? So whenever shooter you go to is like, okay, how does this compare to Call of Duty? How is this different? You know, Halo has always done a great job of always being, you know, Halo. Like the combat has really never changed throughout the whole series, which is like, you know, you have your shield and there's, you know, different variants of shields. Sometimes you have to pick up health. Sometimes it's just, you know, you just make sure you let your energy come back. But like Call of Duty, it was always just, you know, you see that person first, then shoot them, they're dead. The time to kill is has always been short in Call of Duty. So I think that's always like the big obstacle when you jump from Halo or Call of Duty to Halo is that you have to get used to that new time to kill.
Right.
And I feel like even with Titanfall, the time to kill is slightly higher. There you have an opportunity to kind of reverse the outcome. But yeah, I mean, maybe it's the game's fault that it doesn't communicate what you can really do as a pilot, you know, in Titanfall. So, and plus, I think that's kind of a lame name, a pilot. But
it's so cool. So the thing about Titanfall is like it did tell you that you can do that stuff and it did show you. But what happens when people play a game is they always revert to the easiest thing to get wins, right? So they're not going to do all that fancy.
Well, I'll argue that if you run into a good player, you can't play it like Call of Duty.
Yeah, but there's never like a good player. Like it's the same thing with Halo. Like you run into a good player, you don't know what to do with those people because they just kill you immediately. Even though there's all that shield and all that stuff, none of that stuff matters when you run into a good player. It's like it's rare that you're going to be playing somebody who's that far ahead of you with matchmaking. So how many times are you going to run into somebody who basically schools you and you're like, oh, I got to rethink the way that I play this game or I can't keep up. So it's like it is very, to me, like, because I remember we played Titanfall, it was
A
probably a year
handful of
ago.
times.
But yeah, like the last time we played it was about a year ago, or maybe 6 months, right? Somewhere in between there. And it was really, to me, I just felt like I was running around. Like, yeah, of course I could run up walls if I needed to. But to me, that was like, he's right in front of me. Why would I run up a wall to shoot him? I'm shooting him because he's right in front of me. Like, it's to develop the ability to kind of like do all that of extra stuff. There needs to be incentive, and it needs to be compelling. It can't just be survival of the fittest. Most people are going to put a game down if they're like, well, I just can't get the controls. Like,
So
most of
do you think it's too hardcore for like the general audience?
yeah,
And I don't mean like hardcore. I mean just like in terms of
in terms
like
of
complexity.
yeah, I was about to say that complexity. Yeah, I do. Same thing with Splitgate, right? Like, I like Splitgate, but getting used to using the portals
Yeah, that's a whole
is
other layer.
it's like a mind freak, because you're like,
Yeah.
you can like look through a portal and see what's happening and still kind of be confused, because like a reverse mirror sometimes. Like, it's a little weird. Like, it's something you have to kind of adjust to. And so even in Splitgate, when we were playing
I
Splitgate,
never
we were
used the
basically playing
portals.
Halo. Right. Neither did I, because we were just playing Halo. We were just
Yeah.
running around. Like, there were portals around me, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do with these things. I'm just gonna shoot the person in front of me. And so we were basically just playing Halo. We weren't playing Splitgate.
Yeah.
So I think the same thing happened with Titanfall. So my fix to that wouldn't be to change anything about the mechanics or the complexity of the game when it comes to the pilots, right? Because you want that there. It would be to get the Titans involved faster, right? The Titans is something you earn, but if the Titan was something that you could like get involved faster, and like if your Titan gets destroyed, now you're running around like a pilot using the movement. It's different. But because the Titans was like something you earned through kills and whatever, however you earned it. I was never good at earning them, but like that's the problem. Like, it's to me, it's Call of Duty until I get a Titan, and then it's Titanfall. And I never got to that point. So I think that's what killed them, in my opinion. And it sucks, because giant robots is always going to be fun and cool. And there needs to be more giant robot games. Every time there's a giant robot game, I look at it for a long, hard moment about like, should I give this thing a try?
What really is this? Are you trying
I just want to be in a Gundam.
fool
And
me?
y'all know, they just won't let me in this gaming world. They don't want to keep the Gundam games going. I don't understand it. It's one of the coolest ideas ever.
Yeah, so it's but I definitely at some point I'm gonna install NorthStar and fire it up, because I do have Titanfall on from Origin, so it should work seamlessly. But what are some other games that you all think that need some sort of revival, whether it's from fans or companies? Like, what are some dead games that like just needs a
Halo 5.
brand new community?
Has
That's a good
anybody-
one.
Hey,
That's a good one.
What is it? Halo 5.
343 needs to show Halo 5 some love. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a good one. I would agree.
I can't. I can only play one Halo game at a time. So I love Halo 5, but it's just all it's gonna do is
it's gonna mess
confuse
you up.
my fingers for Infinite, and I need all of the.
That is one game, like, out of all of the Halos, like, I went back, of course, and played MCC. And then, like, honestly, I was scared to fire up 5, because I know, because 5 has such a distinct feel. It does not feel like Infinite at all.
Mhm.
And so I know that, like, going back to 5 and jumping to Infinite, it would
you're gonna
mess up my
retrain.
wires.
You're gonna retrain some habits. You're gonna build bad habits.
All of the MCC, like all of the games on MCC translate, because it's
5,
it's
right.
back. No, it translates to Infinite.
I mean, that's what I meant. Translates
Yeah.
to Infinite. Right. But 5 is the only one that's like, if you start playing it too long, there's things you're gonna do in Infinite that are just gonna get you killed. Like trying to
Jet.
dodge out of the way, jumping up and dodge.
Yes.
Like, that's possible in Infinite, but only when you have the boosters. And now, do you even remember when you pick up
Sometimes I don't remember.
You don't remember you have it, so you're just
Yeah.
playing regular. And I'm like, why didn't I just thrust?
Yeah.
But it's because it's like you've taught yourself to not thrust anymore. because it gets you killed most of the time. It ends up making me crouch because of the B button is my crouch. So, or not no, it's my melee or whatever. So it ends up messing up your whole, like, you're in the middle of a fight and you just get murdered because you're like, oh, I was trying to thrust through a melee or a crouch or whatever. It's, yeah, I can't go back to 5, but I do think the movement is, once again, it's similar to Titanfall. It's something that, if you mastered, watching people do it, I'm like, dang, man, these people, the hand-eye coordination is ridiculous. Like the way that they move in that's a I don't know. I'm disappointed that part of Halo 5 didn't pass on to Infinite. Right, like not completely. Like very little of Halo 5 actually went to Infinite, but
yeah,
that's just Spartans, man. Let us have some super cool armor. Like, I don't understand. More cool things is better, but
yeah.
But has anybody checked on Street Fighter? Like, how are they doing? Are they still okay? Because that's a game that
Which one?
Any Street Fighter. Is that still popular?
Five has its core. It's not like it has its waves. Only what brings people back to 5 or Street Fighter 5 is release of a new character. So Street Fighter 5 is done right now. Like there's no content coming out. They released the last character. So all of the hype right now is just kind of waiting for any glimpse at Street Fighter 6. And so usually how Capcom unveils is that they usually unveil it at Capcom Cup, and that's like their annual, basically World Series of Street Fighter. And they were slotted to do one for 2022, but they just recently canceled it, like an in-person one. So they're trying to revert back to more of an online one. So the speculation was like, next Capcom Cup, they're going to unveil, Street Fighter 6. So now that's kind of up in the air. But it's not dead. It's still what keeps Street Fighter 5 going is Capcom Cup. People are actually like trying to compete for that. Capcom is the only like company that really like forks out like good like pot money. So that's how they kind of keeping the game alive is kind of dangling that carrot of like, if you get good at this game, we have all this like, prize money. So they did a really good job at that. But in terms of like the game itself, it's like zero hype around it right now. But it's not dead, but it's on its way. Once Street Fighter 6 comes out, it's gonna be people are gonna move on.
It's one of the biggest games in the history of games at one point. Right? Like,
it still has that cachet. Like when the new Street Fighter comes out, everybody pays attention.
I mean, because it's a PlayStation exclusive now, I don't pay attention.
Well, that's the thing. That's the speculation is that it's gonna go multi-platform again.
If it goes multi-platform, I'd definitely buy it. But
yeah. Well, speaking of Street Fighter, I would love some sort of like revival of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I felt like that game got slaughtered because of the competitive community. It wasn't a very like balanced game because they had some weird mechanics in there. So like the people that are like really good at games, they can go in, figure like some shit out in a week and be like, all right, this is broken. And there was a lot of that. But in terms of like the casual people, like it was some of the like best fights I've ever had with people on there. It was super hype. I mean, this was like a childhood dream. It's like, yo, what if Street Fighter and Tekken like came together and duked it out? Like this was a childhood dream. Like we've always wanted to see stuff like this ever since we saw like X-Men versus Street Fighter.
King of Fighters, Street Fighter versus SNK.
Yeah, Street Fighter or Capcom versus SNK.
Yeah.
Like all these like crossovers. Like this was like dream material, and this shit actually happened, and it was actually a really good fucking game. But
somebody needs to come out with like the ultimate edition of that, where it's just every fighting game ever versus every fighting game ever.
Yo, seriously,
Pick
like
anybody you want.
the versus pack. Well, that's what that this little freeware game called Mugen That's what that is. Like you can
Oh.
literally throw any character in there, and like yeah, it's like fan built. It's actually decent for like to it has like a whole like community around it. It's like its own subculture.
Let's make it 300 gigabytes of high quality texture, a bunch of fighters. I need pixels.
So
I think-
what are some other games that y'all think?
You can make a list of fighters.
You said what?
I said you can make a list of just fighters that have just gone to that. Bloody Roar. Bloody Roar is a great game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love Bloody Roar. And
Yeah.
Dead or Alive is my favorite fighting game of all time.
Did you get the latest one?
Yeah, I got it. Just sitting here. Oh yeah, Murray said the same thing. Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
That's my favorite fighting game.
Is that on Game
Y'all
Pass?
are
I gotta
pervs.
see
That's
Absolutely
why.
not. It's not famous enough to.
Y'all are some pervs. That's why y'all like Dead or Alive.
You know what? I realized that was a thing back when I liked it just because, you know, it was the first fighting game I could beat my family at, like, handily. Like, nobody could beat me, period. That's why it's my favorite fighting game. It's strictly selfish. But I did notice that I was like, wait a minute. Like, people are like looking at these. Like, remember they had that swimsuit? They had that.
They had a volleyball game.
Beach volleyball game. I was like, who's falling in love with these characters? Like, they don't even.
A lot of people.
They don't look remotely close to human.
Like, that's the point.
God. That's the
They don't look remotely close to human. I can't see how that is like you know what I'm saying? Like I get the over exaggerations of certain features, right? But even that they don't look human. like they just don't. If you saw that character in real life, you would freak out. You would not have the same reaction you're having when you're getting all pervy by yourself. You would freak out if you saw that person in real life. Like I don't know what I'd do if one of those characters was standing next to me. Like they are completely alien.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's shoot. Dead or Alive is my what's his name? Habusia from Ninja Gaiden is.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite Dead or Alive character. I used to beat my family so bad at that game. That's why they don't play it no more. Like I used to beat them so bad that they were like they stopped playing the game. They don't even entertain it anymore because it wasn't competitive.
Is this like a remake or there was a new Dead or Alive game?
No, there's I think there's
6.
6.
Yeah, 6.
6 is the last one that came out. There's a couple of like SNK characters in there too, I think.
Oh, for
real? What's the one with the girl with the fans?
Miyoki something.
Yeah, she fits right into dresses just like the girls from Dead or Alive, no clothes basically.
Yeah, always the pervy character.
Yeah, I mean,
bent over and jiggling your top half. I was like, golly, man. That's why that's why sometimes I don't want to play games or watch anime in front of Nicole because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing sometimes.
And you're not even tuned into that anymore.
Yeah,
like that's just part of the ambiance.
Exactly.
But then somebody walks in and they're like, "Oh, this is what you like."
Yo, seriously.
Every time.
Single time. Really? This?
That happened to me not too long ago. And I didn't even realize until Tip said it. She was like, "This what you like?" And I was like, "Oh, I can see how you might think."
I'm here for the story, man.
I'm here for the
story. I'm here for the character building.
You're watching the Playboy. You read the Playboy articles. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly. Oh my
god. I'm here for quality writing. Like
I can see how you would think that.
I was not even phased. My wife, like earlier this week, had pointed out some pervy shit that was happening, and I think it was Eden Zero, and she was like, "So," I'm like, "What?" She was like, "You know,
that was in Fairy Tail too.
That's just part of the show. I didn't write it. I didn't come here for this."
Yeah, like conversations in a bathhouse just happening in Eden Zero, like all the time. And you're just like, listen, I'm literally reading text. I'm reading text. I'm not watching these cartoons, babe. I'm reading text. I'm listening because they're progressing. Exactly. They're actually progressing the story. But the conversation is in a bathhouse. So somebody just walks in and they're like, "Oh, this is what you like?"
Right. Didn't mean to interrupt, nigga. What happened? Just watching
You ain't
TV.
interrupting nothing.
It's bad.
Oh, Murray said Def Jam Vendetta and Wu Tang
Oh
Shaolin style.
yes, Def Jam definitely needs a comeback. That
Def
was fun as
Jam.
shit.
Absolutely.
I don't think I
Just
played Shaolin style.
I didn't either. I played Vendetta. I didn't play Shaolin style.
Yeah. I think Shaolin Style, that was a PS1 game.
Mm.
I mean,
I think it was. Shit. Original Unreal tournaments, bring those back.
I remember those. Pretty much every game. Remember how many like Unreal Tournament like skins there were? Like just like games that had the exact gameplay and guns
Oh
Unreal
yeah, like
Tournament, but like a
the
different
arena shooter.
characters. Yeah, arena shooter,
Yeah.
right?
So Quake.
I remember watching
Unreal
that
Tournament.
and just like, what the hell is going on? Like, I can't even follow. Like, I just see jumping through portals, death. Okay, cool. You shoot something, somehow it ricochets off the wall.
Yeah, the little saw blade
The guy already
ricochets.
turns it around, knows he got a kill. I'm like, what is happening? Like I never played the game just for that because I'm like, I'm gonna
intimidating. Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
It was very hardcore. Bring it back.
Oh, Mari said you could put the game in a CD player for Wu Tang Shaolin style and listen to the album.
Oh, that's
pretty dope.
That's dope.
That's before its time.
Facts. Wow.
Before its time. Right. People weren't putting games in CD player. Like people weren't thinking like that back then. People didn't even associate those two things as the same. Like knowing that like, oh, a CD like music and a CD with a game on it are exactly the same, especially back in that day. That was before games were burned on DVDs and everything like that. So it's like exactly the same, but nobody really thought about it that way.
Absolutely.
I mean, I might have tried.
You might. I mean, that's different though. Like you was a nerd.
No, we're in computers. We all put like that's when I realized like there were assets actually on the CD. Like you can go into a folder and like actually some of the games had like assets, and I didn't realize like that you can like get to them, some of them. I was like, that's weird that you can, but that's because we're gonna tinker. That's who we are.
Yeah.
But regular people ain't like, hey man, let me see what happens if I put Wu Tang Shaolin style in a CD player. Like that wasn't the demographic doing that. Those are the people shoving those people in lockers, playing Wu Tang Shaolin style.
Damn. All right. So let's get into the topic of the week real quick. Talk about like our blurred resolutions for 2022. What like content are you looking forward to or catching up on? Are you you know?
Okay. Cool.
What happened?
You froze for a second.
Froze, yeah.
I froze. Oh, rip. Hold on.
I thought it was my internet betraying me again. Because last time that's what happened. Everybody froze. I was like, wait, everybody froze? That's me.
Immediately. All right. I'm good now?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, sweet. So I get I can I'll go real quick. As far as series, I want to catch up on a lot of stuff. Pretty much everything Marvel except like I watched a couple things. Like I need to finish What If. I need to watch Black Widow, Eternals, the last two Spider-Mans, the Star Wars anime, all that is in my backlog. Great North
I haven't watched
on
any
Hulu.
of those Spider-Man.
I just watched the first one this past week. The first one of this current trilogy.
Yeah.
Homecoming.
Homecoming, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I need to watch Great North on Hulu. That's by the people who made Bob's Burgers. Which I like a lot. So it should be interesting. We'll see.
I'm intrigued.
Right? I still haven't watched Arcane on Netflix. I need to watch that. There's a bunch of Funimation anime on my list. Because I don't pay for Funimation. I've been waiting every day I go to Verve. I'm like, all right, this is the day they done finally put Funimation back on here. Cause Sony owns both platforms now. I'm like, all right, today is the day. It's gonna be here, and it never is. And I'm like, I'm not paying another subscription for that shit.
For you
Um,
specifically, they're gonna lock it away on a PS5. So you got to get a PS5.
oh my,
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. It's like an app, just a free app on the PS5. Just
Yep.
no subscription
Ooh.
required.
It's not
You
free
don't
for
even
Kev.
gotta
Kev's gonna have to pay $500 to watch Funimation.
Absolutely.
Oh my
You might as well get the
Absolutely.
subscription.
bruh. Facts.
I
Ah,
I feel like that could convince me to at least think about it
I mean, you're not wrong. I would
because I
definitely be
have
like,
Verve,
no,
but I
no.
also have Funimation. So, but
Yeah.
See,
I'll be able to
you
say
already.
I'll be
They're
able to
already
save
getting
it.
my money.
I wanted to give them my money for a time, but I had such a bad experience. The website was so trash.
Terrible app, terrible website.
It's
I
much
could-
better now. It's still trash, but it's
That's fine.
much better.
It's much
It's
better.
not
That's
it's
great.
not a dumpster fire.
I'm happy for y'all.
Just a dumpster.
I'm not going there. I'll I'll take to the high seas first. We'll see.
This
Great
nigga
Pretender
has
on
never been
Netflix.
a pirate. He's just on break. This
Oh,
nigga's been a pirate. He's always been a pirate. Because the sea's always calling you, Kev.
what you mean, man? I don't know what you're talking about, AJ. If it would be so easy for them to just give me what I want and they refuse.
Yeah, that's how it starts. That's how all pirates start. It's just like, man, I'm just trying to help you
I
give me
deserve
what I
this.
want. Yeah.
I deserve this shit. Great Pretender on Netflix I think that's an anime. It sounded interesting, and I watched the little preview. Like you know how they put the little genre mix. I was like, oh shit, I might like that. So that's how they got me. I need to finish the live action Bebop. I'm a little bit upset that it's not coming back, but we'll see. I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna watch the original again, and go from there. See what they talking about. It's a bunch of games coming out that I want to play. I'm gonna just run through them real quick. God of War and Ragnarok coming to PC. I need that. I want to play Sifu. If it's really good, I
Oh
might,
yeah.
have
I
to.
really
Seafood
want to
looks
play
really
Sifu.
good.
I gotta upgrade this PC so I can
You gotta-
play video games on it.
You just
Hey,
need a card, right?
they just
No,
announced all the
I
new
need a graphics
cards.
card. That's all I need. And I don't need the best one. I would love to buy a very bad card right now, but those things cost more than the PC cost to build. So, right.
We'll see. Hopefully they're getting their fucking stock together because they just announced a new, card on the more affordable end of their
Like a
spectrum, and it's like
3050 or something.
yeah, the 3050. Like, come on. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of like movement there with inventory. Because they also announced some super powerful cards that are ridiculously expensive, and maybe people
Yeah,
will
like
get
an $8
those and
card. Like,
more than
really?
800. They announced a 3090 Ti. They announced, and the 3090 was originally 1500 for the Founders Edition, which is the cheapest one you can buy.
That's insane.
And then they announced like a 3080 with 12 gigabytes of RAM, which is that double or is that no? That's like 4 more gigs, but it's like stupid expensive. So I guess I'm hoping that miners and all those people will buy those cards with like the massive amount of RAM, because the more blocks on the chain, the more RAM you need to do your computations and shit. So maybe they'll take those things and people who want to play games can have some hardware. Fingers crossed.
True.
Looking forward to Starfield. If it's fucking No Man's Sky in 4K, I'm gonna be very upset. No,
I'm
I'm
gonna be honest. I think that's what it probably might be. I
I
don't.
need to.
I gotta see I don't know what the combat would look like. You know.
It looks
Uh,
cool. Looks great. I just know
I
it's
gotta see it.
I know it's
see
one
it.
of those games with a great trailer and just trash everything else. I know it is. I know that they spent more money and more time crafting the trailer than they did.
Well, they probably wrote like 2 lines of code when that trailer came out. So
Mhm. It's
I got my fingers
it
crossed, man. Like I
looks
need it.
great. I'm hoping it's good, mostly for Suave, but even if it's really good, I might pick it up. But it looks like a
It's
great
gonna be
It
on
trailer.
looks
Game Pass.
fantastic. Hey, and it's gonna be easy to try it, and trash it if it's terrible.
Yep.
And I will trash it, both online and physically or digitally.
Absolutely, digitally. I want to play the new Horizon, Forbidden West. I haven't played the current Horizon, but I don't think
It's on
I don't know. Maybe
PC.
if it goes on sale,
Yep.
I might pick it up and try it out. I want to play Forspoken. That joint looks fire.
Yes.
A joint I'm really, really, really looking forward to that doesn't seem to have like a release date or anything yet is Avowed. That's like more than
I don't
any
know.
of these other joints.
That's probably gonna come out next year.
I mean, I'm
Because
hoping
when did Outer Worlds come out? That was what
20
2019.
was it 19 or was it like late 18? I don't remember now.
I think it was 19. Yep, 2019 October.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Ah,
so we're in 22. So yeah, I
yeah.
think 2023 is probably when you'll get Avowed. Because I don't think they're gonna put that and Starfield out at the same time this year.
That makes sense.
When you said that, that felt like a million years away. I can't wrap my head around that 2023 is next year.
I know.
Yeah, I keep thinking it's 2020. Like people, I'm like, man, that happened 5 years ago, and I'm talking about 2015. Like it's not 2022 right now.
Yeah.
My brain is like, it's still 2020, guys. We just started this mess.
My brain be going further than that. Like it'll be like, oh, that was 20 years ago, and I'm talking about, like 1990. No, that was not 20 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
It's not 30 years ago.
Bruh,
30 plus.
breaks my brain.
Mhm.
Ghostwire Tokyo looks good. I would definitely like to try it, unless it's a Souls-like. If it's a Souls-like game,
I don't think you're gonna like that.
you
I'll be honest. I don't think you would.
this man ruining my dreams.
It's not literally. It's made by the same dude that did Evil Within.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Nah, that might not be for me. Slime Rancher 2 is supposed to be coming out. I played the first one with my niece. It was like a really fun, like adventure game. So I'm interested to see like what they can do for that. And it was like there was a story, but you can like perpetually, go back to your little ranch and, take care of your slimes and stuff. So it was cool. I'd do it again. Oxenfree 2 is supposed to be this year. I'm looking forward to that. The first one was pretty creepy, but it wasn't like super scary, and the story, like, it was so well done. Like I would absolutely play it again during the daytime, lights on type shit. But I would definitely give them another go on that one. Maurice said Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 16. I don't think 16 is slated for this year. I don't think you're gonna see that.
Maybe. Well, I think they were saying that it might come out for this year, but everybody is confident that it's going to get delayed and be 2023.
I can see
I'm
that for sure.
I'm still waiting for like that striking character for Final Fantasy. Like since 10, I haven't liked it. Like there hasn't been a
10?
character. Yeah, since 10, there hasn't been a character that I'm like, oh, that character is cool. Like the whole like Titus Yuna Lulu, who's one of my favorite character designs, right? From 10. She's the one with the teddy bear, right? With the whatever. Like it just feels like the characters are more and more bland. Like everything past 10 kind of runs together with me. Like all the character designs and stuff. They wear the same clothes. Like in like I think it was 14 or
It's
maybe
a
15.
fantasy setting.
No, I'm
wear
saying
the same clothes.
I'm saying the characters that are on the same team wear the same clothes. It's like the same style of clothes, the same color of clothes. Like I can't tell the difference between these people. So it's like I haven't found like the one with like there's no Sephiroth Cloud, there's no Titus, Yuna, Lulu, Waka, and there's one other character. Well, two other characters on
Waka.
10 that I like, but like
you're bugging.
I haven't. That's why I stopped. I stopped playing Final Fantasy because it's like these characters look kind of regular. Like it's like a regular person, and then so you see this regular person like punching a monster, and I'm like, it looks like Free Guy. Is what it looks like. It looks like like a regular person doing something extraordinary. And it's good for a comedy, but it's not good for a fantasy.
Balthier, my nigga Balthier was swaggy as fuck in 12.
Hey man, I'm gonna have to look.
Lightning from 13 was a badass.
Lightning
15,
was just Cloud though.
I mean,
Lightning was Cloud. Same hair color.
I will take it. I will take it.
Cloud in the front, Party in the back. That's what Lightning was. She had the same. She had the same little this.
I mean, it'd be like that. 15. I feel like all of your whole party in 15. I mean, is pretty fucking cool.
They look like they was all Yakuza members. They all look the same. They look like they had a team uniform. Like they were so bland to me. I was like, oh, I can't deal with this. I want to come back every year. Every year I want to come back, and they keep making these bland characters that I just can't vibe with. And I'm just like, maybe next year, maybe next Final Fantasy, I'm going to come back. The 2025 still, guys. We got time. It's still 2025.
It ain't looking
but
like
the remake. I am interested in the Final Fantasy remake though. So but those are the characters that the best designed Final Fantasy characters of all time.
When remake, I definitely want to play remake when it finally comes to Xbox. I mean, I guess if I get a PS5 first, I'll play it on PS5. It's on PC right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to play that.
It came out in December.
So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna pick it up. Right now.
Facts.
Let me grab it.
And then I'm looking forward to checking out this.
Murray said it's not on PC.
It is. It's on Epic Game Store.
Is it? Let me see. I'm about to check right now. But yeah, the Saints Row reboot. Where's my Epic client? Saints Row reboot looks interesting. I definitely want to see like some more gameplay. But it's I'm like I might check that out. Because I think one of the things that enticed me was people were saying it was kind of like Grand Theft in space, and I was like I like that headline. I will it might be worth trying. So let me see. Final Fantasy 7.
He said it's on there. He said you're right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you gotta get it on Epic though.
That's a wish list. You do gotta get it on Epic. All right. I might. Another account.
Yo, you would hate PC gaming. You would hate PC gaming. That will give you like you would probably murder somebody.
Absolutely.
It's just like
accounts everywhere.
You paying all this money for not just the game but the hardware, and then I gotta sign into 511 accounts.
Oh, Carl would go fucking mad with PC gaming.
Yep.
Man, that's ridiculous.
Murray said Final Fantasy 7. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Tech.
Is it 70?
I was just saying.
Yeah, it's $70.
Okay, yeah, they can keep that till it's on sale. I added it to my wish list.
He said it was free for for PS5. I mean,
all right, nigga.
Yeah, it's on PlayStation Plus.
It's not free. You pay for PlayStation Plus, and you paid for that PlayStation.
Yeah,
you paid for it.
So you.
Just saying. As far as new series, I don't know. I'm not super tuned in to new series that are coming out. I did watch the pilot of Abbott Elementary. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
We're fans over here, especially since I am a teacher this year. Like this shit is it hits home.
Yeah, it hit different when you in there. All right.
Yeah.
But I do I pick out like some simulcast animes like every season. Other than that, I'm not. If it pops up on Netflix or Hulu and it sounds interesting, but I'm not super tuned into like new stuff that's being released. So I mean, if y'all got Rex, like, let me know. I'm not really following any manga or webtoons, manhwa, I ain't doing hardly no reading right now, y'all. It's shameful, honestly.
You need to fix that. I wish I
Truly.
was you, because there's so much
wish I
new
was-
content out there that you could read that I have read several times, and I would love to read it again for the
Damn,
first
several
time.
There's all
times.
these letters
That'd be nice.
involved.
All these letters.
Oh, yeah.
It's like watching
my
subtitled
letters
anime,
was-
but it's not anime.
Exactly. It's not anime. That's it.
And then as far as tech career advances, nothing to report yet. But I mean, the job market too hot to not at least take a look. And for me, I'm not looking to go like into services, but I'm willing to do, willing to do some full stack stuff. I want to get some more exposure to like DevOps, but like that work seems super tedious.
That's
to
a
do
whole
day-to-day.
That
other
makes me want to cry.
discipline. You don't.
Yeah,
You
it
don't
is.
need
It's
it.
not. It's not the same discipline as. It's not even close to
Yeah.
dev to me. It's a different. It's like your brain has to work a little bit different from a developer.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Like
find it
developers are
interesting,
very like
but
narrowed down, and then DevOps is
Mhm.
like you got to kind of know a lot about a lot of different things
Yeah.
in the way they
It's a
communicate.
lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Read the Phoenix Project. The people who did that.
Phoenix
That's
Project.
it's a fiction, but it's about a DevOps team, and then they have like a companion actual DevOps book that goes with it.
Oh my gosh, that's
tight.
the 5th time that
I
you
think
guys
I've heard
have
of that.
literally said that whole sentence. That you and Suave together. That's like the 5th time
What?
on this podcast that you guys have said that whole. I need someone in chat. I know Maurice. You
For real?
you keep saying
I've said
that.
I've brought the
That's
Phoenix
5th
Project
time.
up before, but I don't know it was
It's
that
always with Suave that you guys have this conversation. I
that's
kid you
that's
not.
crazy.
This is the first time I've written it down. Like I just did like a quick search on my notes.
Well, that's what it is.
That
Suave
might
is
be the
never
problem.
listening to me. That's the problem.
Exactly. See. So if there's
This
any
is the
lesson you can
5th
take from
time.
this, listen to AJ.
Listen to
Obviously.
AJ.
Yeah. Moving on.
Right. So who want to talk about their resolutions, their blurred resolutions for this year?
I can go next real quick.
Do your
So as
thing.
far as games, only thing that's really like calling my name directly is Forspoken, which I mean I need a PS5 for that. So I mean I don't know if it's calling my name
Or
enough.
PC.
Or PC. I need to update the PC in order for that to happen. Y'all know that struggle that I've
Yes.
been going through with that. I'm a little excited for Tiny Tina, and that's just because I'm a fan of Borderlands. I haven't played the most recent release, but yeah, I'm hoping that it's good.
It'll
And I'm all
scratch
for
that Outriders itch that
Yeah.
that you didn't get scratched.
Exactly, something like that.
A beast
God.
appears.
Shit, I was
Yeah,
hoping we'd be able to
neighborhood.
do the whole
You
thing without it.
wild grass and a beast appears. The wild beast
Suicide
appears up
Squad.
in tall grass.
Mhm.
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. I hope that's good.
Oh yeah,
Forward to that.
please.
And outside of that, the only thing I'm looking forward to anime wise is I'm looking forward to finish up this most recent release of Demon Slayer.
Shield Hero.
To,
I'm go ahead and help you out.
Oh, Shield
Thank
Hero's
you.
coming back?
Wait a minute.
Yes, I
Yeah.
should.
Help him out. Don't help him
It
out.
should be coming. It should be coming back this year.
When is that coming?
Girl,
When is that coming?
Good
Oh my
question.
gosh.
I don't. It's 2022. That they've been releasing trailers.
Carl did.
What?
I need that.
Yeah,
Shield
it's
Hero
coming
caught
back.
me off guard, and that thing was so bomb.
But yeah, outside of that, Shield Hero, World Trigger, Demon Slayer, those are the main 3 movies we're most looking forward to catching up on. I'm gonna give Eternals a watch, and of course, I still need to see the new Spider-Man because my ass
Is it on
in black.
Disney Plus yet? For
The new
third-
Spider-Man? No.
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 Won't come out for another
Eternals.
couple months.
Eternals.
Yeah, Eternals
Eternals
just showed
just
up
came.
yesterday.
Yeah, just came on Wednesday. So
I just
I was
watched
waiting
it.
for that.
Comics to read. That's a fun one. Of course, finishing the Sonic Shock run. I think we have a few more issues before that's
I
done.
fell so far behind.
No
So
worries.
far. I'm just gonna have to like buy all my trade, like buy, because the way my comic book store down here works, that thing is gone. If you don't get it that week, it's gone.
It's gone.
Like
Yeah.
it's gone. So like I'm just gonna have to buy all of the issues that I missed
Where's the
online.
comic book store in Tallahassee?
There's a few, but the most popular one I think is Atomic Comic Books or something like Atomic Comics, something like that. It's over there where Best Buy is.
Oh, over by a government store.
They took over for, remember, there was that pet store, Petco, or whatever pet store was. There was Best Buy, then World Market, then Office Depot, then World Market, then the pet store. They just moved into the pet store building, so like they're actually, I guess they're doing very well because like that's a huge building.
Pet stores are
I didn't even know there was a pet
big.
store. I guess I mentally blocked that.
Yes, it's right. The pet store was like it's kind of like in steps and levels, so it goes Best Buy, then Office Depot, then World Market, then the pet store down there, and they just took that building. But that's a big building, and they took it over, so they must be doing really good, even in the pandemic.
That makes me happy to hear.
Wow.
You should all go spend your money there. Comic book stores need more love. There's something that have to survive, no matter what.
Wasn't there one on South Side on Monroe?
There were a few. Most of them are closed. There was one. I don't know about. They were on, not on Monroe. They were on South Side, not South Side, but they were on Appalachian Parkway at one point, and then they kind of like didn't go out of business, but they did shut down for a little bit, and then they reopened in that plaza, about 5 or 6 years ago. But a couple of the other ones that were hanging out around there, those all closed. So if you're not going to Books A Million or this place, I don't know where you're getting comic books from here.
That's ridiculous. Fredericksburg used to have 4 comic book stores in total, and now you're down to just one.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm an avid. Like if you can pick up some comics, go to your local comic book store.
Yep.
Keep it afloat. Nerds need safe havens, and that's
yeah. They play a lot of like what's that Warhammer. They play a lot of Warhammer there. Like they have little Warhammer matches in the back.
That's what's keeping them. That's what's keeping them afloat. That's. I see a lot of like comic book stores double as a gaming
you gotta think out the box.
tabletop gaming.
Tabletop huge, man.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, that's some. I'm jealous.
I'm
jealous that they have places to hang out, and gamers really don't.
I just feel like tabletop can be done like as a game, like a video game. Like I just feel like everything that you do in tabletop can be done, but for some reason, like isn't that the same thing as like those like Counter-Strikes or whatever? The like, I don't know if Counter-Strike's the right game, but like those
turn-based.
They're turn-based, but they're not turn-based. They're more like you're managing a large army in real time against somebody else managing a large army. I forgot what they're called.
Real-time strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, but it's not, so to speak. So it's you're still using utilize big armies, but but that takes away the fun aspect of you actually like designing like the color scheme, designing your army, putting them together.
Yeah.
And then like imagining like.
Yeah, it does take the imagination aspect. Video games definitely remove the imagination aspect out of there because everything plays in front of you.
Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, true.
That's what basically is Dungeons and Dragons and stuff on an army scale.
Right.
And outside of that, books or audiobooks, I don't read normal books. I haven't got the time for that. Audiobooks, nothing really on the list for audiobooks. I'm finishing up a Dungeon Slayer is the audiobook series I'm currently finishing up. AJ did their One My Way that I have to read as well, and I can't think of the name right now.
Which is something?
I have no idea. It's in chat. I'm gonna find it.
Which is something?
Witches.
You talking about the comic book?
No. That's Witch's Throne. He's talking about audiobook I recommended.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I read so many audiobooks or listen to so many audiobooks. It's crazy. So I can't even think about which one.
Star Wars based is what you
read.
Star Wars?
Something. I think it was like Star Wars based, or it was something like that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Dang. I can't remember either.
Oh, that's good. Well, I'll figure it out. But tech career advancements, nothing currently. To be honest, I would love to do something that's, I don't know, a little removed from it. Maybe something opposite. Maybe something more creative. I would have to say that. Um, Cyber's been real restricting lately. So, but I mean, yeah, I would say nothing else. I have a few certs I'm going for this year. I have to re-up on a few of my security certs that expire this year. I don't know if I'm deciding if I'm going to or if I'm not going to. Really just depends on if I have a company that pays for it or not. Sometimes I'm just like, yo, I want a lot of those fucking things. Like for Splunk, I had like all in all to get certed up for Splunk, it was almost, I want to say it's total $8,000. I didn't pay
Jesus.
it, but my company paid it, and
That's about right.
Yep, but
Yeah,
then a
Splunk
lot
will
of
pay
those certs, yep, a lot of those certs expired
Flunk
because
ain't no punk.
not,
This nigga.
they come for their bread.
Like
Uh,
enterprise, the
This
enterprise
ridiculous.
administration was like 1,500
mhm.
plus. Cause I was telling my boss like, oh, I need to get, maybe I should. She's like, oh no, you can just ask somebody here. I'm like, that's not the same thing. That's you preventing me from learning so that I don't have to come to this nigga to ask questions.
Ask somebody.
Because they gonna hold back information most likely. I was
or
like, boy,
just,
you
or
know what?
just, what they forgot. You can't teach you what they forgot,
That's true.
what they never paid attention to, what they missed.
It's like, oh, you don't
Ask
need to set
somebody.
those up. They'll set those up for you. I'm like, no, that's not how it works.
Mm-mm.
That's not how it works.
Nah, if you can talk them into it, because Splunk pays. But I still put that shit on
That's
my resume.
awesome.
I literally say I'll say it's expired. And I've had that come up a few times in most recent like contract picks where they're just like, oh, it says expired. I'm just like, it does, but the knowledge isn't expired. Like I took the
I
cert. You can
understand.
look it
I
up.
don't understand that.
But no companies I've worked with were willing to pay for it, and I'm not paying for it out of pocket. I had one recruiter once who was just like, but isn't it important to you? No,
Not that important.
not that
Right.
important. It's not important at all. I still
Yeah.
have the knowledge, and if
It's
you're
a
not going to
means
hire me,
to an end.
exactly. If you're not going to hire me because the cert's not active, well, that's stupid.
That's stupid. Unless like it went through like a major overhaul, like a change, and
No.
you're not, you haven't recertified in that new change. Like I'm not gonna just wait. Oh, it's a year old, so now it's stale. Like, yeah, that's not how information works.
That's what they need to do as far as when you're recertifying. You should only have to recertify if there's a huge change to that system to where it needs to be, you need to know. Even
Mhm.
that,
Or
that's
they
like
could just
that's
keep
like
making this
that's like an
money.
hour. Huh? So what'd you say?
Or they could just keep making this money and keep it as is.
That's
feel
really
like
where
they're
they're
gonna
going
go
with
that
it.
one.
And they will
Uh,
do that.
But it's silly though. Like
Rubbery.
these companies aren't getting a kickback from Splunk. Why are they being so loyal to the certification? I don't know.
Peace of mind.
Life cycle.
Peace
And
of
then
mind.
Peace of mind.
If
contracts
it's
will be like, you have to have at least one person with active certs. Like,
Yep,
gotta
that's what I'm
have
about to
one.
say.
To charge a certain amount, and then also, it's
Oh, okay.
so like
It's
if
a whole
I'm
meta
having
game.
certs,
Yep.
technically I don't have them.
Okay.
So that means they can't bill for
Mhm. The
I
feds
find it
talking about that
interesting.
shit.
I find it interesting they think that, just because you have certification don't mean you're not human. Like,
Mhm.
you can fuck up. You still can fuck. Like, if you have just because you have a certification doesn't mean you're not gonna fuck up.
That's true.
And then like Splunk's biggest thing is, and then I'll pass the gauntlet, but the reason why because before their certs used to be grandfathered in, right? Like especially back then, how much it was just to get certed all the way to the top, you were grandfathered in, which was perfect. But they learned a lot of consultants who were to get be full Splunk consultants lied or had like companies would basically get one guy to take the test for everybody, like across the board, and that way their company could poach more Splunk contracts because the guys were fully Splunk certed. And so basically like rampant cheating, and they rewrote the whole thing and then made everybody recert. Now their certs only last 2 years, which is bullshit. So, but yeah.
Said no.
Mhm.
And we need to get in the certification game. Let's make something and then make a certification like
A blurred
for it,
certification.
and then
Fuck that.
like charge.
Look,
Let's charge a lot of
make a
money.
search for how to make an NFT.
There you go. People,
Yeah,
people
but like
sign up
that's
for that.
but the problem with that is that's such free knowledge that in order for us to be able to make a cert about that, we'd have to get buy-in from companies to trust our cert. I'm talking about we need to be the people who make the thing, provide the thing, and it needs to be something that people want, and then that way we can make a certification for it, so that it basically pays for itself. Because if you do like something that exists already, who's to say we're the what gives us the authority over NFTs? Like some other company's gonna, if some other company even sees us doing that and it's remotely successful, they're gonna be like, hey, what do they know about NFTs? And then if they have the relationships, we're screwed.
Well,
No, that's an idea. We'll put a pin in that.
it's not
Who,
happening.
Never gonna happen now. Once Swab says that, that's literally he's pinning it up to the wall like
Pin don't not happening.
it's done now.
it's over. I put a pin in its heart. It's dead.
You know how many things you? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know how many things you pinned? They're all dead, Swab. You killed them all.
We'll circle back.
We'll circle back around that.
We'll
circling back. Yeah, we'll circle back.
Circling back. No, we're
We'll
not.
circle back to visit its grave.
Somebody got to put fresh flowers on that thing, man. So let me see. I went. Tech went. Who want to talk about their blurred resolutions? Wow.
So, in terms of content, just looking to finish up the animes, the good ones. I don't know when Jujutsu's coming back, but that's on the list. Only, I mean, you know me, I don't spend any time on the other ones, just the good ones for me. But hoping Jujutsu Kaisen comes back this year. I don't know when that's supposed to come out. I know the movie's coming out soon. The Jujutsu Kaisen 0 or whatever. Like this prequel is pretty much what it is. Then I'm looking at let's see, Shield Hero. Obviously, I just got caught up on Demon Slayer, so I'm like, I forgot how good that stuff was. Like I forgot how good Demon Slayer was because it's been so long since I've watched. I was like, this is some good stuff. Right? That came out of nowhere. Like I completely just wrote it off for some reason. I don't even know why, because I was really into it before it went on hiatus for a little bit, and then the movie came out, and I liked the movie, but for some reason I was just like, Demon Slayer. But I'm caught back up now, so me following Demon Slayer. Let's see. It's probably a ton of anime and manga I'm gonna be just forgetting or missing out on, but in terms of like webtoons and stuff, I've been into this webtoon called Witch's Throne, which I had been reading for a while, but the author went on hiatus for like 2 years. So I almost was like, I don't even know if this is gonna ever start back up again. And I guess they started it back up like last year, like at the end of last year. So it's I just introduced Tech to it. I think it's freaking great. I think the concept is hilarious. So and also it's got good action in it. So Witch's Throne. I read a plethora of audiobooks, so just continuing in that, or listen to a plethora of audiobooks, so continuing in that vein. In terms of like video content, like in terms of like television, all the Disney Plus stuff, whatever they're releasing, I'm pretty much in on it. Book of Boba Fett or whatever, book of whatever, however that title is, whatever. I'm watching that. I don't know what to think about it yet. It definitely doesn't feel like The Mandalorian, which I guess is good for them. They don't need the redundancy, but I'm following that and all the Marvel stuff. I just caught up on Eternals. I'm waiting. I saw the Spider-Man movie, but I thought it was good. I just don't want to have to pay for it in the movie theaters again. So I'd like for that to just go ahead and put itself on Disney Plus as soon as possible.
Seriously, shit.
It's gonna be another 2 or 3 months.
And I mean,
the Eternals came out on Thanksgiving, and it just came out now.
Yeah, so I know. I mean, that's what I'm expecting, and that's kind of like the the DVD release schedule too. Like before the pandemic, that was the DVD release schedule as well. It's like, let's squeeze all the juice out of the theaters we can, and then we'll package it up for digital release after that. So I mean, there's probably a ton of shows I could mention. So I'll just go ahead and skip to occupationally. I don't know what I'm doing. Still working my regular job, obviously, but I am making strides for like somewhat of a career change. I have a couple other like business things I'm doing, but until they mature, it's no use in talking about them. And they're mostly dealing with state contracts, so it's not like a enterprise or anything like that. But for me, I think that my biggest resolutions are creatively. I want to get back to doing the comic stuff that I was doing. I'm a part of a writing group here in Tallahassee, so I do write a lot, or I used to write a lot. So I'm trying to get back into writing again. We meet like once a month, like every 2 weeks. So almost twice a month. But yeah, so trying to get back into that. Trying to I want to write at least one novel. They say everybody's got a novel in them, so I want to write at least one. So that's kind of my goal, is to write a novel, maybe finish at least one chapter of a comic book ever. Like, it's for me, I get really bored really quickly of my own ideas, and so like I'll just abandon them. I'll revisit them later, but I abandon them halfway through. I'm like, okay, this is great, this is great, this is great. And the moment I reach like a point of just, now this is work, and then I kind of like bail for a little bit until I can get like the resurgence of the excitement I have for the idea. Hopefully just try to like, push through that this year and kind of just like get a chapter done, see how that feels to have like a finished work of some sort. So that's the AJ resolution list.
Nice. Yeah. Creativity is definitely something I want to get into more. We'll see. It's not enough time. Not enough time.
That's the problem. That is the
Yeah.
problem.
So let me see. We got 1, 2, 3. Who want to go next? Ice cream sandwich. What about your resolutions?
All out.
Call me
Wow.
out. Call me
Wow.
out. Damn. It was
Everybody
delicious.
saw it. It looked delicious.
We did, but we're all gonna ignore it like gentlemen.
Oh,
Hey, that shit's bomb. So in terms of video games, I'm really looking forward to in 2022. Top of my list, Bayonetta 3.
Oh yeah.
That been waiting on that game for way too long. So definitely number one. Some other games. Windjammers 2 is coming out next week. So
Yep.
really looking forward to that. Horizon. I'm trying to make my way through Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one. So we'll see how far I get. Like, but I'm not gonna get the second one until I finish the first one. So I gotta stick to that. But I
Do
think
they
Forbidden West.
hold on real quick before my bad?
Mhm.
Do they build on each other, or is it just like a
Yeah,
personal rule? Okay, I got
I
you.
think. Well, yeah, it's both. So they build on each other, and I like to like, especially like series that I really like to kind of play them in order, just you know, like to appreciate like how far the series has come. Like for instance, I'm playing like No More Heroes right now. The first one, there's three of them, so I'm trying to knock out the first one real quick, and then go to the second one, and then play the third one, and see like how far like what they improved on, basically.
Yeah.
So, um, the other one is King of Fighters 15. That's coming out in February. So looking forward to finally getting into King of Fighters. I feel like I've always kind of missed that fighting games that come out. They have like a window of time where everybody's playing it, and then it just drops off. So I've always kind of missed those windows with KOF. So I'm gonna be there from the release day. So I'll pick it up and grab onto it. Seafood, we talked about that. Really looking forward to that. Forspoken as well. I'm really looking for this little small indie game that I've been keeping my eye on. It's called Bushiden. It's a 2D platformer beat 'em up, I guess you could say. Um, it's supposed to come to Game Pass. They marketed last year. Like one of the last like big pushes for Xbox. They had the trailer and everything. So still looking when they're gonna release that. And then from hopefully Ghostwire Tokyo comes out. I'm really big fan of the creator of that studio. He comes from Resident Evil lineage. He's the one that directed Resident Evil 4, which is regarded as one of the not only one of the best Resident Evils ever, but one of the best games ever. So
Yeah, I've been waiting for that for a long time.
yeah. So then he went on to create Tango Gameworks, where they created Evil Within 1 and 2. So big fan of his work. And so Ghostwire Tokyo is looking really good. Anime wise, just whatever y'all say. Like I'm always behind, so
Never
that's how I
watched
picked up Jujutsu Kaisen. So I have like 3 episodes left for that. Um the next one I'm gonna watch is Dr. Stone. And I gotta look through what some other ones that HBO Max has right now. But um so yeah, I'm just gonna catch up, and then I have to catch up on Attack on Titan. I know I'm 1 season behind, so I need to blast through the last season, catch up to where they're at right now, because I made some good progress on that series. So want to continue that. Uh, I don't know if I'm gonna catch up with Marvel. I put that on here, but I don't know if I'm gonna actually catch up with Marvel. I get so disinterested. I just don't care anymore. Um, and in terms of like audiobooks and stuff, I I'm really trying to get into more history stuff. Um, I've recently, because I guess the that came from the I want to see how we got to where we are now in terms of the world and how things are set up, like why things are the way they are. So I figure it would be a good opportunity to kind of go back and see like, why certain countries are just like, fucked up, from colonization and, all of that shit. Just really figuring out like why, the Middle East is the way it is. There's so much like so many moving parts as to why it is what it is now. It's not because like, they're just a country of terrorists. It's like, well, why did they get like that? What caused them? Why did it become a safe haven for terrorism? All that type of stuff. So just really trying to like connect with that. I am listening to a really good audiobook right now about Japan and how but we'll talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, that's my goal for this year. Just try to get more educated in world history. And career wise, just continuing to grow my consultancy, try to make as many connections as possible. I do some networking, get out there, and then try to really hit the ground running. So yeah.
Nope. So I guess Carl, JK, who well, I guess JK, you came if you wanna, what I'm saying, think for a sec. Or if you ready, either one of y'all.
Good go.
Do your thing, man.
Yeah, so as far as content, I'm looking forward to Jujutsu Kaisen. Um, that needs to come sooner rather than later. Raising Dion. I've been waiting for Raising Dion for the longest. I think it came out in 2019 originally, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was 2019.
And I think it's coming out next month. If I think February 1st or somewhere in February, it's supposed to drop. So I'm looking forward to that. Uh, for the longest, I thought it was canceled, but
Same.
apparently it's coming. I forgot what happened, but I'm kind of behind on World Trigger, which is nice because I'll probably get at least 2 episodes, real quick. That's a nice little satisfying feeling there. Um, trying to think about the anime stuff. I don't know if Succession, sorry, is gonna come out this year, but hopefully it will.
I need it. I need it.
Because yeah,
Where
that
they
was kind
left
of a
off.
crazy cliffhanger. That was a crazy cliffhanger.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jesus. That kiss on the top of the head. Yes, baby. It's like, oh man, he is ruthless. I like
Yeah,
it though, because he's been getting fucked over the whole time. This was his moment to shine. I like it.
absolutely.
Redemption.
Oh
Gosh,
man.
dude, she dragged him so hard. I'm like, man, the level of disrespect. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. I feel like I need to catch up since it's over now. Like I can't fall any further behind. I need to catch up on Insecure. I think I watched the first season. I think I watched the second season, but I haven't watched anything since. So there's a whole lot to catch up there.
That's gonna be a
Um,
great binge. It's gonna be a really good
yes,
binge.
yeah,
100%.
because and then they're half an hour each, so it's like
Yeah, it's
it's
over.
it's very, yeah, you could absorb it quick. Um, so last year I watched Foundation and Wheel of Time. So hopefully they both come back this year, and I want to continue that. I need I enjoyed the heck out of Foundation, but at the same time I want more things to happen. I want more revelations to happen. Like things was happening, but it was just exciting things within the episode. I felt like they took a long time to move the story of the actual epic forward. Like I think they could accelerate that pace a little bit. Um, and the freaking Wheel of Time. Yeah, I love everything about that. Powers,
I
yes.
need to watch Will of Time. I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna read the books though. There's too many. There's way too many. It's like
Do
20
you
What
see how
some.
many words and letters are in those things? That's a heck.
It is a ridiculously long. The series outlasted the author, right? So the author
The
died
book
before finishing it. So it's that long.
Oh no.
the book is a sizable percentage of my body weight. So
Yes,
that's a
it's
no.
it's a lot of book.
That's a no. I'm not doing that. But so yeah, anything that's coming out on Disney that I want to watch, you know, I'm pretty much not gonna watch in the theater. So, um, Eternals. So I need to go ahead and watch that. And I gotta make a concerted effort to watch these Spider-Man movies. The issue is, for the longest I'm like, where do I watch this? Because I think
they
it was on Netflix for a little bit. The first
the
couple
first
Spider.
one was
Yeah. And then it wasn't on Netflix anymore. And then
because
I'm like,
the Disney Sony deal took it off there, but they didn't put it on Disney Plus like directly
exactly,
after they removed
exactly.
it.
So I'm like, where the heck do I freaking watch this? So I gotta figure out where to even. I don't even know where to watch them. Like the first two. So once I figure that out, uh, I'll eventually catch up. Um, I'm trying to think. I think there's a couple other shows out here. Hopefully, the hiatus for Witcher is not nearly as long. So if we luck out and get, a season 3 this year,
Oh yeah.
that would be incredible. But we probably won't. We probably won't because you know, it seems like their production is, not quite Game of Thrones, but closer to Game of Thrones than regular shows. So yeah, they're gonna take 18 months plus come out with their seasons. That's just how it looks. Um, there's probably more content that I'm not thinking about right now, but games wise, I'm looking forward to Halo. Yeah, hopefully, more maps. But I think I I was planning on buying a Formula One game, but now that hot garbage happened at the end of the Formula One season,
What happened?
okay, so Lewis Hamilton, right? Uh, I believe he did not start on pole for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, all right? But within the first few laps, he makes a move on Max Verstappen, takes the lead, and there was a little tussle, a little battle, okay, whatever. But he pretty much takes the lead, keeps the lead. He's dominating the whole race. And the thing with Formula One is I feel like it's more of a team game than any other type of racing. And there's strategy involved, like when you go to the pits and all this. So he's been dominating the race. And it just so happened that I think within like 6 laps or so before the end, there was an accident. So the safety car comes out. And so normally what happens is that they could do one of two things. So when the wreck happens, Max Verstappen is second, but there's a whole bunch of lapped cars in between him and Lewis Hamilton, who's in first, right? So one of two things would have happened. They would end the race on a caution because there was barely enough time to clean the track of the debris, and then let the cars pass. So if they let the cars pass, that would have taken up the remaining laps, and then they would have just ended on the safety car. Lewis Hamilton wins the championship, or they could start it sooner, but then they wouldn't have let the cars pass. And so even though there would have been blue flags, which means you got to step aside to let the faster cars pass. So those slower cars would have to slow down to let Max pass. If those cars were still in between, there probably wouldn't be enough time for Max to pass all of those cars because they can't just let them pass because they don't want other lap cars to pass them. So they got to tactfully let them by, and so it would have taken time for Max to get past them. And so in either one of those scenarios, Lewis would have been good to win the championship. And he didn't want to pit because if he pit, then Max Verstappen would have gotten first place, and then it would have been a different situation. Max would have got the championship. So when the wreck happened, Max Verstappen pits, gets fresh, soft tires, and comes back in second spot because they were so far ahead in the lead that he could have come back and not lose any positions. And Lewis couldn't do that. And then the FIA, which is the governing body for Formula One, decided, okay, we're going to let the cars pass and then start the race immediately. We're not going to let them all the way lap themselves like they normally do and then start the race. They're going to do both at the same time. So when they did that, pretty much at green flag, Max Verstappen is right on Lewis Hamilton's bumper. Lewis Hamilton's tires are pretty much done. So no matter how good you are, if somebody has fresh tires, you have no chance, zero chance. So they pretty much handed the championship to Max Verstappen, who's a Dutchman, on a silver platter. And it was super controversial because that's not something they normally do. Lewis Hamilton, of course, is chocolate. And yeah, so because of that, there's rumors now that Lewis might not return. Because if he had won that championship, he would have gotten the record for most championships ever. So he had 7, that would have been number 8. He would have passed Michael Schumacher for the most championships in Formula One. He pretty much has almost every other record that matters. But, you know, he would have just completely separated himself to be like, okay, if you're going to say I'm not the best ever, you're just a hater because all the numbers say that he's the best. He has the most poles by a lot. He has the most wins by a decent margin because Michael Schumacher used to have that record, I think, at 91. Lewis Hamilton is like 103 now and counting. I think he has the most laps led. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, all the things that matter, he's dominating. And he's tied with Schumacher for this one. This will put him over the top. So he's so
Is Jordan 92?
Yeah, but the difference was Jordan won, and it was just like, I lost my father. Like, what am I doing this for? You know, I need to find myself. He's like, this one is like, this was taken from me, and I gotta think he's thinking like, okay, I could come back. Can I muster up that energy again? And then 2022, right? They're changing the formula, like they're changing the cars. So Formula One has different eras. So this past era was the turbo hybrid era. So it's a certain body style, certain rules for the engine, and they're completely changing the rules for next year, which is I think it's for the better. I have high hopes for it, but it becomes less predictable. So you might be a skillful driver, but if your team didn't make the right decisions in designing the car, like, you're screwed. That's true every year, but when so many rules change because it's a new formula, it's more unpredictable where you're going to be as a team, right? So it's like, okay, do I go through this again? I end up in a tussle with Max, and are they just going to take it from me again? Do I want to deal with that crap? Like, and why am I really racing? I don't need this. Dude makes over $50 million a year just from Formula One. And he's got a bunch of things going on. His partnership with Tommy Hilfiger to do release his own clothes under Tommy Hilfiger. He has a lot of things going on. He does music, whatever. So he's kind of set up his life post racing already. He's probably thinking like, do I want to go through this again? Like, it's such a mental and physical investment to go through a whole racing season, to be that locked in. He's not dating anyone because he's like, you know, he don't think it's fair to date somebody when he's racing because he just can't put in that time, that mental, both being present and mentally present to focus on another person, that's according to him. So I'm like, does he want to do that if people are just going to take it from you every time because they're black? They don't want you to beat the most hallowed record. Like, this is, imagine Hank Aaron, right? And he hit the home run, and they could be like,
Foul ball.
nah, that's a foul ball. But it went over the
Yeah.
no, it's a foul.
Foul
Yeah.
ball. Nah, you curved a little at the end. That's a foul.
Like, that's
probably
what
tried a
this
couple times.
is. But it, like, you know, it's
It's harder
do
to
that.
lie about a home run though.
Exactly.
It's almost like football where like they call like a pass interference, like a bogus pass
Yeah.
interference at the end of the game. Like that happened to
Mhm.
Miami and Nebraska national championship like 2000 something. They Nebraska gets a pass interference call on Miami, and in college football, wherever that foul happens, that's where the ball goes. So Nebraska basically threw a Hail Mary They call the pass interference that everybody in the replay sees. There's no pass interference here. But because they called it, now Nebraska has the ball in the 1 because the foul happened in the end zone, and then they win the national championship. Even though Miami beat them, except for that Hail Mary pass, basically put them in position. So it's like, if the ref should never, or the official should never have the power to change the outcome of the game to that level. It's like,
So that's
ever.
pretty much what they did. They did here. So there's speculation that he might not return, which would break my heart because Formula One is coming to Miami next year, and I planned on like getting tickets for me and my dad. It's gonna be $1 million, but me and my dad, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go to the Formula One game. I'm gonna make sure, like, I already bought my dad like a Mercedes hat and cap. He drives Mercedes. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and get my Mercedes gear, and we're gonna go there. I'm gonna see if I could get a paddock pass. I probably can't afford that, but if it's affordable enough, I'll try to get a paddock pass. I'm gonna be in Miami, but like, am I going to a Formula One race if there's no freaking Lewis Hamilton? I don't know. So I don't know if I get that. Very long story short, that I don't know if I'll get this game if Lewis Hamilton straight up does retire. That would be kind of heartbreaking. But yeah. Career wise, I actually recently made a move to a new company. So far, so good. I'm very pleased with the company. I love the openness as far as the CEO communicating what they think, what the goals are, why they're doing stuff. That's the sort of thing I was hoping that my previous company would do, and they did not. So I'm a fan of that. That's nice. But moreover, I hope to be, technically speaking, I'm already an entrepreneur, but I'm hoping to take more steps in that regard, which involves me being more consistent with my coding. So I've been a little bit more consistent. I need to be even more consistent than that. Working on my side projects. So, yeah, that would be amazing. And also, with AJ's help, I need to create an NFT this year.
Oh yeah. NFTs all around, guys. Who else wants one? On the house. I mean, y'all gotta pay the Ethereum gas. Y'all gotta pay the gas.
I mean, it might not be Ethereum. I might.
That's true. If it's not Ethereum,
life, I might be on that Solana. I heard that's a good alternative.
Minted on Polygon, and that's is that a layer 2? I think, or it's, I don't know. I don't remember if it's a layer 2 or a side chain, but you'll still be in the Ethereum like network, but you don't have to pay Ethereum gas prices.
The absorbent gas fees.
Ridiculous. Anyway,
yeah, but
I'm not doing the Ethereum. Yeah, it's too much.
It's very expensive.
Rich.
You said what, JK?
I said Ethereum gas prices. Y'all rich.
Bruh. That's why nobody trying to pay that shit.
No, man.
So what's your blur resolutions for this year, JK?
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Let's see. Gaming wise, I mean, y'all list all of them. Ghostwire, Tokyo, Evil West, Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm trying to finish the first one now.
Is that out yet? Horizon?
Yeah,
Zero
the first
Dawn,
one
or-
is.
First one.
Oh, not Forbidden West. That's not out yet.
No.
Yeah,
No.
that's February, I think.
Yeah. Frozen Lands is out. That's the DLC.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna bother about DLC. I'll just play the next one. God of War. coming out this year. What else you got? Pretty much this whole year is going to be a bunch of games coming out. So hopefully Halo, picks up more with the content because they kind of slacking. Oh, I want to play that game Leap because it looks outrageous.
What's that
Leap
about?
is pretty much like a game. It's like Halo, Splitgate.
That does look interesting.
Battle Royale. So
Let's
it looked pretty cool. I think there's a beta out right now or beta coming soon in a couple days. On 19th, I think. So we'll see what happens there. So yeah, gaming, is whatever comes this way. They're gonna have a bunch of games in the next couple of months. So I'm looking forward to that. Definitely want to play Serious Sam this Sunday. Has Serious Sam Sundays with Creston. So that's gonna be fun. What else? Oh, show wise, Stranger Things on Netflix, Lock and Key, new season. So I've been watching Euphoria.
Oh my Jesus.
And
I
it's a
tried
bit
to
wild.
watch that.
It's a
dude.
bit wild. It's
I tried
my
to.
childhood. My
depressing.
childhood was not formed to its fullest potential.
It's too
Apparently,
it's too depressing.
it's
Yeah.
depressing. It's cringy.
I
It's a
felt
little
like
bit
I was
everything.
addicted to drugs just watching that thing. Like I'm already an addict. Just golly, dude. Like
Called
it
a
was too much.
Yeah,
contact
it's a game contest
addiction.
though.
Yeah.
But it's I'm not gonna lie, it was an interesting show. I was like, okay.
Interesting for sure.
Okay.
I don't know if I can mentally withstand the stuff that happens in that show.
I mean, after like we were 5 episodes and I was watching with Price and Raven. We were 5 episodes. I was like, you got 8 episodes?
Oh,
What?
you're going through the first season right now?
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
8 episodes. This seems like we on episode 25. Like,
Yeah, I peeked in on like I watched like bits and pieces of the first season because Nicole was watching it. But like every time I tuned in, just like how every time she walks in on like some pervy part in like gaming or anime or whatever or anything nerdy. Same thing with Euphoria. Like every time I walked in, it was somebody fucking. I was like, there's so much fucking in this goddamn show.
first off, when Nicole had this argument that like, why did TV shows have to show breasts so much, but they never show penises? I was like, nobody wants to see that. And I'm
Nobody
like,
wants
you
to
know
see
what? I was like, you know what? This show is Nicole's show because they show so much. I'm like, you know what? This is out of control. Like, this is out of control. And but it is what it is. I see why I want it. I see why it won some awards. I see why I won some awards. People.
The presses.
If you got to have your spirit crushed to win awards, I'm like, is that
That's
really
how
worth it?
those award shows work, Carl. I don't even know why you like. What name a movie that's won an award, like that's really like got those high accolades that isn't about something terrible happening to at least one individual.
It's kind of true because even with Whitney Houston's Bodyguard, that won an award. That was about her almost getting killed.
Yeah,
I mean, but at least that was a sweet ending.
And it was about her music.
And let's think about this though. Like even in literary fiction, so like in the in the novel writing world, like all of the books that win awards are about tragedies that have happened to characters. Like there's not even a plot. There's just like a series of unfortunate events that happen to one character, and we just watch them spiral down. This
book right
this
there.
death spiral. And we're just like, oh yeah, that made me feel more human or something. I don't know why we have to watch tragedies. I mean, I blame the Greeks,
It's
but
poignant.
it's
That's
the Greek fault.
another
But-
comic book, a series of unfortunate events.
Oh yeah, but that's true. But that's actually not that bad. Like they kind of they survive, right? It's not the great expectations or something like that where like or Huckleberry Finn, right? Like, his life is not great. It's not good at all.
Yellow Mockingbird.
So
Yeah. Anyway.
yeah.
So I've been watching that. So yep, I'm hooked. So I'll let y'all know on the next
God
What's
bless
Good
it.
how my soul has been, snatched
Fresh.
like people's sanity in the show. Yeah. Um Another show I've been watching. Another Life. I got through that. That was really good. And
Man.
that ending was beautiful. It almost kind of ended like Star Trek, in my
You see what
opinion.
I'm saying? Where I feel like, where are they going to go from there? I don't know if there could be more.
It's done. There's no other thing unless they show their explorations in a spinoff. But I
It would
highly
have to
doubt
be a
they do that.
spinoff, yeah, because
Yeah.
it wouldn't make any sense to just we're exploring now.
Yeah. What else? Been watching Peacemaker on HBO Max. John Cena is definitely not a superhero. And fun fact, did not know there was a vigilante called White Dragon. And apparently he is a
Racist?
white supremacist
Yeah.
vigilante
Yeah.
for the KKK.
As soon as you said White Dragon, I was like, I know
Yeah.
exactly where this is going.
Yep.
And he has a mechanized suit and he goes around and he kills.
This
Yeah.
is a show? This is a...
No,
Peacemaker.
that's a vigilante in the DC comics.
He's not a vigilante. He's a villain. Let's call him what he is.
No, they said in the
So what does he kill? Black or ethnic villains? Is that what he goes after? Ethnic villains? Because if he's just
call him
beating up,
supervillain. I call him supervillain, but they said vigilante.
no. If
I'm
you're
just
beating
saying,
up, if you're killing innocent black people, you're a villain, and the only people calling you a vigilante
he
are
quote
Fox
unquote stops
News.
crimes. He quote unquote
Pundits.
stops
He
crimes,
stops crimes.
but it's
I bet he
mostly people
does.
of color and stuff. Yes,
I
This
bet
is-
he does stop
yes.
crime.
But
this is you DC folks. That's what you get.
what else? Sandman on Netflix. There's a bunch of stuff on Netflix coming out this year that I can't wait for. The Wheel Time. I hope they come out with another season for that.
They have to. That's got to be one of the more popular shows.
Yeah, it's actually been a pretty good show. I watched all of that as well. Of course, Demon Slayer. Pretty much any anime coming out. What's up? You said about to say something, Carl?
I just remembered a Discovery of Witches. That's also on Prime. I forgot to talk about
Well, I
that.
just started watching that.
Mm-hmm.
I just started episode 1, so I'm watching that.
What is it?
Discovery of Witches.
Discovery of Witches?
Yes.
A Discovery of Witches.
A Discovery of Witches. Yes.
Okay.
It's a terrible title name.
Yeah, it is. It's on Prime. Until the 31st.
It sounds
It's
like
free.
the name of an anime or a manga.
What do you mean? Whoa, time out. You said until the 31st?
Yeah, it said like a little under thing. It says until the 31st.
Where it's going after that? I mean, it's I can look it up.
Technically, I believe it's an AMC show.
I believe so.
I don't know if AMC is on YouTube TV. So, okay, so that's the hurry up for me. That's the hurry up.
I think there's a subscription service you can get because I know you can get AMC on Prime. You can.
They have an AMC Plus.
Yeah. It's like it's almost like, it's just like every other subscription service. You can get an AMC on.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. Shield Hero, Demon Slayer,
Freaking Shield
My
Hero.
Hero. They gotta bring back what's the anime I was watching? I can't remember. So. But One Piece, of course. They need to start One Piece back up. I think that's good for shows. There's a lot of shows like coming out, so I'll definitely like, especially Korean shows and stuff. Oh, Hellbound! They gotta bring back Hellbound season 2. They gotta bring that back because after that ending, can't end like that. I said games, said shows, movies. We got Black Panther this year.
Is it this year?
2020. Oh, next year, 2023. I'm sorry. 2022. They have
Doctor Strange is still
Doctor Strange, Venom. No,
Venom came out already, and it was supposed to be terrible.
it kind of was. Carnage could have been a lot more worse, but I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, it was terrible. Woody Harrelson was the best part, I thought.
Yeah.
Except for his costume design, which didn't make any sense to me, but his acting was good. Everything else was garbage.
I think pretty much any Marvel movie I'm gonna go see. I gotta see what scary movies are gonna come out this year. Horror movies.
No, they stopped those. Those don't come out anymore. They ended those in 2021. Don't even worry about it.
Sure. I saw Resident Evil Crescent.
Oh, how was it?
They made Leon Kennedy a bitch in that movie.
How dare they?
They are making fun of him, like, he has his gun and shit, but like they're making fun of him and treating him like he's the newbie on the force and all that shit. I'm like, dog, y'all made this man into a bitch when he supposed to be like the main like badass in the Resident Evil saga. Wesker though, they kind of spot on for him. But yeah, I was they made Claire Redfield like the overall badass main character. And it wasn't that great, but it's whatever.
Was it fun at least?
It was to a sense. But them motherfuckers couldn't shoot.
Were you entertained?
Nah, not really.
Oh,
Motherfuckers couldn't shoot.
Good. That's not
Motherfuckers
good.
couldn't shoot. Like I was like, y'all shooting body shots. Like they shooting body shots. Like they supposed to be shooting zombies. I'm like, what y'all doing?
How'd you see it? On Prime? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The high seas?
It was Prime.
The high seas?
It was prime time.
Yeah, the high seas. Did you join Suave's crew?
What you talking about?
The Suave had
You boarded his ship.
Yeah, you gotta sail the high seas from time to time, man.
From time to time.
No, I didn't board that shit. I got through Prime. I paid money.
Okay. Suave pays money too for his internet.
What else? Supposed to come out a new Batman or a new Batman coming out. Any DC movie.
Not Shazam. What's it called? Black Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, that comes out this year?
I think so.
Yeah. So that's gonna be interesting. I think that's it for media. Professional wise, try not to go to jail.
I didn't know that
is that difficult?
That's a fear.
It's hard out here.
Not to go to jail.
Get some trainings. I'm doing a training right now in Python for security. Trying to get more experience doing other avenues of security and forensics and all this other stuff. So I can, if I need to skedaddle, I can. I feel like my requests are being denied because she knows if I go to another unit and
She try to hold you down.
Here's the thing. When she says like, "Oh, what do you want to do? I don't know what you want to do." If I'm trying to do a TDY to do forensics and to learn forensics,
Translation: what's TDY?
TDY is pretty much a temporary duty assignment, basically. So basically, like you temporarily go to another team and work with them on a
Yeah, she's
Today,
like
Friday,
afraid you're not coming back. You're gonna
Absolutely.
get absorbed into that group.
it'd be her fault.
That's your rubber band.
Yeah, but
Like, why does she even care? Is she gonna get docked pay because you move? Of course not. Who cares? Just
she
a
knows,
hater.
and she knows she lose me.
Her
She
job
barely-
is
she
gonna
got
get
one.
harder.
She can have like one left.
Her job is gonna get harder if he leaves.
Well, don't look at her.
That's always the reason.
Job.
That's always the reason. The reason is always like, oh, if he leaves, that means this is gonna be really hard to have production here.
Oh yeah, I know my worth because a lot of shit that gets done right here.
I just
But nah, I mean it's whatever. But anyway, just trying to get out my development hoodie and get some more hoodies to be cozy in, basically. So, Python has been interesting and learning and try to use. So, I think I'm gonna start using that more for stuff.
Very
And
useful language.
It is.
I think I want to start
All the
getting
cool
into like
kids writing that.
yeah, I think I want to start getting into like Splunk Enterprise Administrator for servers. And start working on stuff for like that, which has been interesting. But I want to learn how to set up my own server, but apparently I can't do that.
it's only the taxpayer dollars. I don't know why she cares. That's only.
I mean, she cares about how much leave I'm taking, apparently. And yeah.
And you're anyway.
We've
We've been down that road already. I just don't get it.
I know. I'm trying to milk the cow as much as possible. But if I'm getting spoiled milk, I should just get another cow.
Ain't nothing coming out the teat.
Shit is dry. Dust.
Shit is
You
dry.
pull it and it goes.
Damn.
Yeah, powdered milk coming out.
Powdered milk.
You gotta add water to the milk you milking? That's crazy.
Aren't they coming out with an Avatar show?
No, the second movie's coming out. Oh, you talking about Avatar Airbender?
Yeah.
Or from that they said something about live action, but I don't know if it. I think it's gonna be about what's the Avatar before Roku? The green lady in the green. Big tall lady.
Coach
Kyoshi. I think it's gonna be about Avatar Kyoshi. I don't think it's gonna be about Airbender.
I think that'd still be fun. I mean that.
No. I mean it's the same universe, man. I mean, but
we'll see what happens. I want to see Io. I want to see Iro. See how he is.
Well, he won't be alive for that Avatar.
Would he?
He was alive for Roku probably because his grandfather was the one that was Roku's best friend, but Kyoshi was at least 80 years before his grandfather was even born. So.
Well, we get to see her push that island off the coast.
Yeah. No, Kyoshi's a beast. First of all, she's the biggest Avatar ever, like in terms of size. Kyoshi's like 6'8" or something like that. Yeah, remember they're talking about her foot size because she was standing. They have like her footprint where she separated the islands, and she's like she's got the biggest feet out of every Avatar. Yeah, she's huge.
That's right. Oh yeah, so she's an Amazon for real. Okay. Well, that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, this year also, I want to get the comic book done, get that NFT for Blurred.
Oh yeah, man.
comic book,
We
and
work on that. Make sure that we need to
or if
meet up
anything,
and
just
work
get the
on
character.
that.
Or if anything, my goal is to get the characters drawn and colored, and we start making merch off of that.
I got your turns pretty much finished for your character, but I haven't done like the costume design yet. And so once I do that, I'll pass them over to you and start on someone else.
It's off of what's the name from Teen Titans?
Nah, man, I just use that as inspiration. You should look a little bit less like that guy now. I'll show you out there. I'll show you.
That shit was funny.
Yeah,
Man,
he
what-
looks Mammoth off Teen Titans. I don't
Mammoth,
know if y'all
yes.
remember Mammoth, the
Yeah.
Dog,
lion looking
he
dude.
showed me the drawing, and I was like, wait a minute. This
I use him as like
motherfucker
a template for JK's character.
I was like, okay, I guess. But nah, it's gonna be great. So y'all tune in for that. We're gonna have mugs, t-shirts, all this merch.
All that good
Got
jazz.
panels coming. And so outside of professional, my whole goal is just to get Blurred Dimension up to a higher status so we can start getting a lot more sponsorships,
Yeah, definitely.
merch,
Go on
all
Shark
that.
Tank and get $500K from Kevin Hart.
Mhm.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's on
We're
Shark
gonna go
Tank.
for that.
Well, he was on
He
Shark
was
Tank
filling in yeah.
for a guest shark.
Yeah,
And
he
that's how
gave Black Sands
Black Sands got
500K.
500K.
Black Sands, like the
Yes.
Yeah, like the
Comic
Yes,
comic
books.
sir.
books.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Anime's coming, man.
Anime's
That's
coming.
awesome.
Anime's
gonna be
my
coming.
amazing.
gosh.
That's why I put some investment in for that. So hopefully that's gonna be good.
You got in on Black Sands, JK?
Yeah, I got it on WeFunder. It's only 100, but I'm gonna put some more investments in. So, but my main investment is this right here.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? You feel
Yeah.
me?
Feel you.
Feel me?
Bow. NFTs. Thanks.
Yes. And also get my learn how to do stocks and stuff. Get some more
yeah.
options going.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it for me. We in it for a good year, prosperity, happiness, all that stuff, all that wealth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you haven't subscribed yet, y'all know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, if you haven't subscribed yet, why are you hating? That's the question.
Why are you hating?
Give me some money.
Unnecessary. That was rude. I'm gonna let you know right now. That was rude.
Was it rude?
It was.
I missed it.
Yeah, our people know. Our people know that. They understand my humor by now.
Oh no, they're already in Rocket League.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in here, but I'm not playing. But anyway, we're about to. All right, so we are. I mean, we basically did. What's good? Back to the Future.
What will
edition.
be good? What
So,
will be
yeah,
good? Is what
exactly.
we did.
What will be good? What will have been good if this was 2023?
Yeah.
What we hope
Came
is
back
good.
from the future.
Facts. What we hope is good.
Great
Um,
Scott.
So we're gonna get into this gaming. We're about to play some Rocket League for a bit, and then we're gonna play some Halo. So stick around for that. We want to thank y'all again for joining us for the podcast. Happy New Year. Definitely let us know if there's something that you haven't seen us talk about, you want our perspective on. Follow us at Blurred Dimension everywhere if you haven't already, namely here, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. If you fuck with the content, give us a heart, thumbs up, whatever is platform appropriate. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Subscribing on YouTube is free for you. Subscribing on Twitch is, small fee to see,
Small fee.
see your
comments
favorite
in.
podcasters, out here flourishing.
Right. Put some comments in. Y'all know y'all want to. I see y'all do it. I know how to do it.
Facts.
Mhm.
We stream the podcast live on Twitch Thursday nights, so make sure you come through next week. We're just gonna switch over real quick, so stay tuned for some Rocket, some Halo, some customs.
I'm about to get my ass